Alright guys, we are live on Twitch. And let's see if that worked. And hopefully it did.
I don't think it's come up yet. Anyway.
Still saying it's offline. Okay then. There we go, we're live guys. Alright.
I don't see on the stream.
Just refresh and okay guys, welcome to the stream. I'm here joined by Patrick Leonard, aka Pleno1, I believe, and Justin Stealthmonk Schwartz, who is the man himself, who got 14th in this very event. One of the best of all time. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll be starting in about 30 minutes for the live stream and going on from there. We'll be having the stream up on here and with the sound off, so we'll be offering our insight and potentially our abuse to some of the plays and stuff that goes down tonight.
It'll be fun.
So do you guys have any favorites? Who you guys rooting for?
Justin? I think you want Joe to win, Justin, right?
I'm rooting for Joe, yeah.
I think Blumenfield would be good. It's like a nice story. I think he'd be more of like the people's champion than Joe. Joe's been kind of angry and stuff, and like it's a spot where he could have been like really happy and just like enjoyed it a little bit more, perhaps. I think Blumenfield's going to come off the best on TV, and people are going to be funking for him to win.
I'm definitely in favor of that. I think he'd be a really good champion.
Yeah, I think Beckley would be a decent champion too. He seems to be like a nice kid as well. I think they're all okay actually. But yeah, Blumenfield winning would be the most epic because if he wins, he's going to win in like epic fashion. Like if Joe wins, it's going to be the kind of final table where he just like steamrolls the other two down and just like chips them down until they have like 10 big plans and they have to get lucky with a flip. But if Blumenfield wins, it's going to be like some crazy like 5-bet pots or something stupid, or like he's going to make some kind of bet which may not make sense and then like levels Joe and end up like merging against both of them or something like this. So I think if Blumenfield wins, it's going to be the most entertaining. If Joe wins, it's going to be pretty boring. So yeah, Blumenfield wins, definitely the best for the fans, I would say. Anyway.
The only way Blumenfield wins is if it's tough to get like top 5%, top 5%.
Do you think there's any chance that Beckley and Joe will do a deal if they get heads up, which a lot of people think the most likely heads up is going to be Beckley and Joe?
Isn't Beckley the short staff?
Yeah, but they're expecting that he's probably going to somehow. I think he's seen as like the second best player, and he's like more likely to get heads up than Blumenfield. I think most people think.
Not with these kids.
Let's say he does get heads up. You think Joe would be interested in doing a deal, or do you think he's just going to?
I would think that he might. I mean, it makes sense. Like even if you have a big edge, like it's a $3 million heads up. I hate when people are like, "I would never do a deal." Like,
Yeah,
I would never do a straight chip count shop or someone I think I'm better than. But like, I mean, actually, for $3 million, I mean, fuck.
Yeah. So do you think Joe would do a deal with Blumenfield then if they got heads up?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Wait, Joe would no way Joe would do a deal with Blumenfield. No way. Because Blumenfield he seems like savvy enough not to give up any equity, and Joe wouldn't do it without getting equity.
Yeah. I'm not sure about that. Maybe Blumenfield would give up equity.
My read on Blumenfield is he wouldn't. But if he would, Joe would. I mean, obviously. And I'm pretty sure Joe and his team would not allow that, and Joe wouldn't. Obviously.
So how much heads up has Joe played in his poker career? Do you know of?
Not a lot, I don't think, but and how much has Blumenfield played? Josh Beckley's been playing poker for a year, so. obviously didn't spend much of his time, 120 days working on this game too. So.
Well, they say, I mean, Paul Volpe said on Twitter that Beckley's only been playing for 1 year. He said he started playing a year ago.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I guess this is his first ever main event. He said he used to always just like lose his money, like working like restaurant jobs and then going to the casino, losing all of his money and stuff like that. I think that's what he said yesterday. So this score, if he wins, like, well, I mean, whatever he wins already is already very, very big. So he can turn it into 7.6 million, then it's pretty sick story. And I think Matt Glantz is staking him, right? Do you know how much percentage he has, or is it?
He's not staking. I think he's about like a third of him, something like that.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I heard through the grapevine.
I wonder about Blumenfield. I think Blumenfield's probably got the highest percentage of himself, right? He's probably got 100%, probably. Maybe a friend has 5 or 10%, but I guess the other guys have got
50% of himself.
The other guys
sold a small bit of himself to his package. Joe's a nit. I always told him he was a nit for selling in like the super soft tournaments because like he has a little bit of money, you know, and he would just include like all the packages. When I was my always would be like, if I have any money, like if you have like any sort of bankroll at all, like you put 10K in the main event, like certain events like the Colossus and like the Monster Stack, whatever. Like you know how we got second in the Monster Stack.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, there are two schools of logic on it, but I think like if you have like a 50K roll, I would never like go against just putting all of it in the main event, just because it's a once a year thing. You could always grind. It's not like it's like your normal bankroll requirement.
What do you think? I think you're a little bit more.
Oh yeah, I've always kept all of myself in the main, and I would much rather swap than sell. I think ROIs in the main are very hard to realize. Actually, that's not true. Actually, this year I decided to do one of those fun things where I auctioned off 5%, and I was actually shocked at how much I went for. The winning bid was John Jawanda with the 300% markup, so I got $1,500 for my 5%.
I sold at 300% markup as well, starting day 2 with 10K chips.
Well, yours was a lot better buy. I'm sorry, John Jawanda, I did not cash.
I didn't play. Did I play? Oh, I played. I did play. I did play.
You didn't play the main event.
How do you forget that, Patrick? Come on.
No, like last year I didn't go to Vegas, so like I thought it was this year. But yeah.
Well, you call yourself a tournament professional, then you have to play the main event. That's the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Unless taxes are weird or something.
No taxes in the UK, so it's good.
Thick life.
Yeah. It's I busted. When did you bust, Max? What day?
I busted actually end of day 2. I've actually managed to never cash the main in my 4 attempts, so I suck at poker.
I never cashed before this time.
So it's great to have everyone tell me how easy it is when I'm just there, just sucking dick and busting on day 1.
Yeah, I busted after 3 hours on day 1 this year, so that was.
You didn't make the antes?
I didn't make the antes. Yeah, solid, right? Solid. Yeah. I didn't know. I'm not sure.
I was reading a lot about your blog. I thought you have not a big 3-betting strategy. It's hard not to make the antes if you're not 3-betting a lot.
Well, other people were free betting. I was calling, and then I was keep calling down the streets and being incorrect.
Here in America, they don't bluff Rivers.
Well, he was Spanish. He was Spanish, you know. So
yeah, they don't bluff Rivers here in America.
The old 7-4 suit he had actually. So I went down. It was fun. But the main event is good. Yeah. I think it's is it 2-hour levels the whole way through now? Or did it change? Is it always been like that, or how is it structured?
4 tables left in the main event, or it was like 28 people left, 29 people left. They reported this hand, and it was at the table. It was me and Agranu, and it's a pretty tough table, and there was this recreational player. And it just Canuli opened under the gun, or someone opened under the gun, and it was folded to the big blind. It was right before like a semi-big pay jump, but like not that big. He just like started tanking, and he folded queen's face up, just to an open.
28 left?
Yeah, 29. But it wasn't like he was short stacked. He had like 40 big blinds or something. He had like 3 million or something.
Talking about Cannuli and tight folds, the very first hand of the final table yesterday, when Max opened King Jack from the hijack, Cannuli was in the cutoff with nines and with 15 big blinds and folded. You saw that?
He has no clue.
And he said he said to his rail, he said he was thinking about free bet calling nines, but he decided to just fold instead. I mean, obviously jamming's the only player with 15 big blinds and nines in the cutoff. So if he had jammed there, then maybe he would have, well, obviously he wouldn't have had the aces encounter the next time just from the butterfly effect. So it was kind of weird that he passed up on jamming nines there when he was a short stack and Steinberg's not going to be super tight there. He's definitely going to have a raise fold range. So I was very surprised he folded nines in that hand.
He's not a tournament player. He's never played a tournament. He's just a cash game player.
It shows just a bit of naivety that he didn't get enough coaching to tell him that you should shove nines with 15 big blinds in the cutoff when the hand.
It's insane. And so I said to you yesterday, I was like...
But I mean, his coaches were like Phil Locke, Brian Rast, Jeff Gross, like these kind of guys. I mean, Brian Rast is obviously good, but the other guys are more kind of just like field players or like live cash game guys, I guess. So like 15 big blinds is not their forte, I imagine.
Enough to fix leaks and that.
Yeah. So he had the prettiest girls on his rail though, I think. So I think that's all he was really bothered about. I think he liked the whole experience. He came off as a really nice guy, to be fair.
He wanted it the most. It was sad seeing the look in his face when he got sucked out on.
Yeah.
Like he definitely cares quite a lot. I felt bad more than anyone else there.
Yeah. Well, I think Max cared a lot for some reason, more than I expected him to. I mean, I don't know. I think he just really wanted to like be a DraftKings winner coming from the DraftKings to win the WSOP main event. I think he just really wanted to get to the final three. Then he was going to start trying to play good or something like this. Like he was prepared to just knit it up until he got to the final three, and then he ended up just blinding himself out, I guess. So, not sure. What did you think about the 3-2 offsuit hand, Justin?
What do I think about the 3-2 offsuit? I would not have 3-bet 3-2 offsuit there. And also, having get to that spot, it boggles my mind how he wouldn't bet like 20-30% just to try to hit his 5-outer or like just makes the hand so much easier to play.
Yeah, against Blumenfield, I think you can actually bet like super small. Like he 3-bet the million in Blumenfield call. I mean, I understand that Chuck Collins not very desirable, but I think you can just like see bet 2.2 million and Blumenfield's just going to fold king queen offsuit or ace queen or whatever he has. I think. And if he calls ace queen, he's going to check back and go to showdown anyway. I think.
Sure, you know this. Like I call it Mustafa-ing. It's like Mustafa, he does so much of that, like betting really small to realize his equity. But I just call it like I'm surprised that he flopped bottom pair wouldn't just bet like 20%, 15% just because they never raise.
Yeah,
like only people raise flush, so like he would never raise queen, so it just makes it so much easier to play, and you can turn into just checking just gives it up. And it's not a value bet or a bluff; it's realizing your equity because people just play poorly.
Yeah, I guess Blumenfield in particular, I think betting really small would have been the best move there.
Mm-hmm.
So we should be live here, guys, in a couple of minutes now. The stream is up, just waiting for the stream to start. Exciting times.
I was also surprised he didn't play there. Obviously, it's terrible to be opening eights and folding. It's like he's also opening like any Broadways. Like it's not like he was playing tight.
Yeah, I was very surprised he didn't have limp-in strategies.
I actually didn't mind the eights fold exactly eights. I think it's not.
Well, then we should just be clear here. When you're saying you don't mind the eights fold, when me and Plaid are talking about not liking eights fold, it's not like we're saying, oh, you have to call the 3-bet with eights. We're saying that it's a fundamental terrible strategy if you're raised folding eights.
Sure, I agree with that.
I agree, like what you're saying, like I don't mind the eights fold. Yes, having put yourself in a spot, just like I don't really hate the jacks fold either. It's just if you don't think you could profitably 3 to 5 jacks, then you flat jacks. Like it's just you don't put yourself in those spots. So yeah, I didn't think the eights fold was that bad, but like I'd limp to eights if I was planning on raise folding them. And also I've also found that people don't attack limps as much as they attack opens very often. I don't think like I bet you if you limped eights, I bet you Joe limps behind. I don't think Joe ISOs 7-8 off.
Yeah, and if you open eights, then Joe can like 3-bet king to offsuit. But if you limp, then Joe's never gonna like 3x king to offsuit and then try to see because when we limp, it looks like we're gonna limp call. So Joe's gonna make bigger folds. Then he's gonna play like a way higher VPIP once we raise than when we limp, I think. And our whole strategy should be to stop him from VPIP. I think
he'd limp behind. I'd probably limp behind 7-8 off in Joe's spot.
For sure.
There's a sun. On my way.
Justin's dancing, I think.
I'm down. You know, I'm gonna have to start myself.
Off-camera dancing, he can't contain himself. He's thinking about the freeze fold. He can't take it anymore.
Actually, we'd be quite interested to. Maybe we can.
I don't think you should. You don't think you should mention that. I don't think it's wise.
Don't bring that one up. All right.
I think
I'm sure he talked about it enough at this point.
Yeah, at least to himself. I wonder what Joe wears today. So yesterday, if anyone didn't realize, Berkeley said he had a live read on Joe, and he knew that when he had a strong hand and when he didn't. So maybe Joe will try to like conceal.
Oh, so actually, I already saw a picture of Joe today, and looks like he's gone no scarf, no shades. He's just wearing like a basketball top.
Really?
You
okay.
have a live read on Joe. It's bullshit.
I'm not sure. Seems like a good idea to do. Even if there's like a 5% chance a guy has a read on you, I think it's good to kind of stop that. But what would you do, Max? Would you?
I agree. That's why I cover myself up too.
Oh, we're live, I guess. All right, we have the stream up.
No, I agree with you about that. Like even though I don't think I give up live reads, I just cover myself up too, just in the small chance. It's got to be like optimal because like if they can't get anything, then that's good. Although unless I want to do false tells, which I do a lot of.
Yeah.
I could make myself turn white.
And there you go. You can finally see Joe down the stream wearing his outfit, no scarf.
So at glance, Sam Abernethy, was that how you say her name?
Did you see Norman Chad? Norman Chad's wearing a fedora.
Oh really? I think he's been dressed like that last few days actually. Who's this guy?
Oh wow, Norman Chad wearing a fedora.
It's nobody. You should have won one, Max. That would have been pretty epic. If you wearing a fedora.
I don't believe I own one. I would have to go out and buy one. I'm not sure where I go on short notice to buy a fedora. And these.
What's on your stream right now? I have Lon McCann, Norman, Chad, and Antonio. They've just come on like 5 seconds ago.
Yeah,
Am I in or not? No.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. And Joe's in the background walking around, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right, cool.
It's not the smoothest stream right now, but I'm assuming it'll get smoother as hopefully.
Mine's actually mine's working pretty good.
Are you watching on Twitch or watching on ESPN Player?
On Twitch, it looks. Oh yeah. Actually, it's okay. It's gone faster now. It's good.
Alright, I mean, luckily I think when it's poker, you don't need the best frame rate. Obviously it's nice, but I think we'll still get the gist of the action and be able to offer some insights.
Yeah, and I mean, if people they can pull up their own streams and put it on as well and listen to our commentary. They don't necessarily have to watch the stream through there. So.
I agree, guys. So
I'm sure you can find some links somewhere on the.
And there's definitely a chance we may have to switch off the stream later on. So that can be an option as well. So,
yeah, I guess the best solution for anyone who's watching is to like not watch the stream through Twitch and to find their own stream to watch it through.
See there, the chip counts. Joe McKeon has a ton of chips, basically.
How many big blinds? What's a big blind now? Is it 1 million?
128, 40, 23, and it's 400, 800 still.
400, 800. So yeah, the shortest stack has 30 blinds.
Might not be 500 a million. I don't know. It's one of the two. I can check.
I think it's 500 a million. No, it'll be 400, 800. You're right. Because they finished when someone got eliminated, not when the level finished, I guess.
This is true. Oh, let's hear what Helmies has to say about this hand.
Hold on, this is what I'll do. I think this will be a bit better fix. Make it adaptive.
What do you think about Helmy of Justin?
He showed some real white magic.
Have you played much with him before?
If his opponent had 10s or 9s, he'd move in. Joe would 4-bet 10s or 9s 0.000% of the time. Maybe 10s like 1%. No.
Do you think Negreanu and Helmy are friends?
Yeah, I think they're friends.
He's a good guy. Helmy's friendly with everyone.
Here's the 3-bet fold yesterday with Jacks from Berkeley. Let's see if you can get a tell from Joe. Like, what did you see on Joe?
I didn't see anything. I watched his back a couple of times.
Really closely.
I mean, he didn't put the chips in that aggressively. Like, previously he was really slamming them down. Maybe he put them in a little bit, I don't know. You know what I mean?
The only small toe I noticed on Joe, but it doesn't really matter, is at the end of hands when he starts talking. Like, sometimes he talks at the end, but he's already given up. Like, he gets more chatty when he's, like, over it. Like, completely. Like, when he was folding the bottom of it. Like, he never, like, talks and then puts in an aggressive action.
So I got the impression that yesterday that Joe was talking a lot more, mostly to try and make his opponents aware how important the like ICM and stuff was. But it seems to me like it's almost as though like he didn't give his opponents enough respect to already know that.
Yeah, I think it's nice to reinforce it into their minds. Like, tell them you can see their grandma behind them, and she looks really proud of her son, kind of thing.
I remember there was a final table at Foxwoods like many years ago, one of the first years of the World Poker Tour, and Hoyt Corkins had like 99% of the chips. It was one of the situations where like someone had all the chips, and then there was like a 5 big blind stack and a 6 big blind stack. And Hoyt pointed out to Helmy, who had like the 6 big blind stack, he was like, "Just so you know, he's got 5 big blinds, and he's got like whatever. You got him." It was the most badass thing I've ever seen. No, but like that's really strong. Like that's what you should do. That's why I like what Joe's doing. Like it's awesome. Like you want to point it out.
Well, so I was thinking if I was in Joe's spot right now, I would just say, "Hey guys, if you shove at me, I'm gonna spike call. You don't actually have to do it, but or just like say, hey guys, the first person who 3-bets me light and I find out on the stream, I'm gonna fucking destroy you."
I bet like after you 3-bet light and they're in the tank of the shirt, you have your chips and you hover them over the pot. I've done that move.
Yeah. Me too.
Like you want to go?
How old is Joe? He's like less than 30 or more.
Joe McKeon. How old is Joe?
What do you think, Mark?
I think he's pretty young. I think he's like 25, 26.
Oh, really? I thought he'd be a bit older. And how recently did he play online? Like, he used to be an online MTT player, right? Like, how recently ago was he an online player?
He never just after Black Friday.
Okay. But he's had loads of good results live, right? Like,
It's about $1 million.
So I've been told by everyone else in the chat that Joe is 24, guys.
24?
24.
Wow, surprising.
He's 24. Wow.
Will he be the youngest ever?
No, I think that was Joe Cadder back in the day.
Yeah, Eastgate maybe. Eastgate seems pretty young, but I'm not sure.
No, I think you're right. I think Eastgate was the youngest, and then Cadder was afterwards. Surpassed him. Looks like as we're starting now, first hand.
Justin, what do you think? Why do you think these guys do this thing? What I'm doing on webcam in live poker? Why do they put their hand on their shoulder like this the whole time? You see everyone doing this these days. I haven't seen anyone.
I found myself doing it like subconsciously. I don't even know why. It's like monkey see, monkey do.
I haven't seen anyone on the final table doing it anyway. So.
Theodore does it.
Yeah, he does.
I've definitely done it before.
2.2x.
We're on hand, going into hand 2 now, right?
Yeah.
There's no.
Okay. So did Joe just fold 10-7 off from the big blind?
I didn't see it. What did he fold?
I thought it was 10-7 offsuit.
Yeah, I would not be folding those times.
I mean, I'm the same as you.
So who's on the button now? Beckley. Okay. Let's see what sizing he uses.
4.8. I would go a little bigger, but it's funny because Beckley never flats. So like, let's see. Like, I would flat the 10-6 suited here if to just 4.8. You know.
You're like 10 seconds ahead of us, by the way, Justin.
Oh.
So just
2.2, 4.8.
He just made it 2.2, and we're just sweating the free bet right now.
2.25 with 10-6 suited.
What do you think about? I think I would limp this 10-6 suited, especially early. Like I think Joe's going to free bet very, very often here. Set a precedent for the rest of the tournament. I would limp the side depending on his size, and I
think raising's fine as well.
And Joe's just going to limp behind like King 2 offsuit here for sure. I think when we limp, but when we raise, we just give him the chance to make it like 7 million. It's so dangerous. I think the sizing is bad. I mean, it seems very.
The sizing's small, but it doesn't matter because none of them fold. You could even get away with smaller. Sorry if I spoiled this. You folded.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not defending, I guess it's fine. But I mean,
yeah, if they're not defending, then it's perfect.
Yeah.
10-6.
If Beckley's 2.2xing and then fold into free bets his size, I mean, it's just not a good. It's not a good game plan.
10-8 suited, that would be crazy. Imagine if he folded 10-8 suited.
Yeah, I mean, he was folding his big blind yesterday with some pretty good hands at times.
I can't wait to see what hands they fold. I can't wait to see this. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be a poker portion.
But he hasn't folded on our stream yet, by the way, so we're just... don't kill our sweat. So that I think especially with his stack is so much... It's not like he and Blumenfield have like the same stack sizes. I mean, like, you just can't fold when you're getting that good a price in position against a guy who's going to be free betting you with loads of terrible hands. Like, I think the way that Joe plays, that if he has like Jack 10 suited there, he's definitely going to call. Like Queen 10 offsuit, he's just going to call. I think his free betting range is usually going to be more polarized. I know he had like a decent hand here, like Ace 8, but Joe seemed to be like seeing flops of these kind of middle-end hands. So 10-6 suited, I think it's going to play very well in position against Joe.
Of course.
Let's see what size Joe uses on the button. Yesterday, he was min-raising his good hands and free-xing his bad hands. So let's see if he
he's changing it up based on Z. He was just raising bigger on Zvi because Zvi was the only one defending and playing halfway. For all the hate Zvi got, Zvi played the best, really.
I thought he played decent too, yeah.
I know. Funny, but he got hate. Let's see.
He was also min-raising onto Z2. He free-xed 9-7 offsuit, then min-raised Jack 10 offsuit versus Z.
Exactly 3-bet it looked like.
Don't spoil it. Fucking mute him, Max.
Why was it spoil?
I have to ban him for spoilers.
I want to sweat the free bet, you know? I want to look for it. You're killing me.
So Joe is min-raising here.
Yeah.
Which I think is...
Blumenfield's done a light free bet very early on both days. It'd be interesting to see if he does it again today. There's Dipfrog in the background. Don't open your mouth, Justin. I don't want to hear anything right now. Give it 10 seconds.
Aren't you guys watching ESPN?
We were watching ESPN, yeah. So he's just free bet now. If you're watching it live, just stop it for like 10 seconds.
I'm watching it on my television. I can't stop it.
Can you pause it? Do you have TiVo?
I can't pause my television. I'm sorry.
American TV is very, very, very bad.
Yeah, I think the TV is faster than the web stream.
How wide do you think Joe's 4-bet ripping there, Justin, versus Beckley's 3-bet? Like, what do you think the worst ace he's going to shove versus Beckley's 3-bet there? Because I don't think there's much room to 4-bet fold. So if you're inducing ace-jack, which I'm not saying is bad, how wide do you expect Joe to be?
I don't think he was inducing ace-jack. I think he was 3-bet folding ace-jack.
No.
I'm telling you, he was.
No, he's not. No, he's not 3-bet folding ace-jack, I don't think.
Oh, we'll never know.
I mean, surely he should just shove ace-jack. I mean, that'd be the play, right?
He was 3-bet folding ace-jack, I promise you.
Well, I promise is a big word. I mean...
He was 3-bet live reading.
Yeah, 3-bet looking for the tell, yeah. But anyway, how wide would you expect Joe to 4-bet rip there? Like,
Woo! Queen Jack suited! Sure firm what?
Stop.
Sure perm heads explode. Alright, so I have to wait flop?
Yeah, Beckley's still tanking.
Oh, wow.
No, Matt, mute this guy. Just mute him and put him back on once we get to the flop.
Oh, I can. Hold on. Let's see.
Blast away, Blumenfield.
I can hang up, but... oh.
You should try to watch it via stream.
Yeah, Self, why don't you switch to watching it on Twitch?
Alright, I guess. How do I watch your Twitch? Just put it on.
Put it on.
Put it on and put the volume off.
That would make sense.
Ah, bet flat. Okay.
What's the name of the Twitch? Twitch.tv/
Max Silver Poker. Oh
I
wow,
also-
just flops the nuts.
Oh wow. I think this hits Beckley pretty hard. I wouldn't expect Blumenfield to see bet here.
I think it would be really bad to see
That's
that.
plays.
Beckley's range is like broadways and mainly broadways. I think is flattened ranges here.
And against a hand like
That's the
2
same
5s,
like-
you don't need to.
You
just
can
win the pot
delay
later.
bet against 5s. Yeah, find out, see what he does on the turn. I like the check by Blumenfield. I think all the guys sometimes like see bet too much. So obviously it's standard, but I think it's a good check. Salmon.
Yeah, actually, I thought something I realized that Joe's checking back range was just very, very middle of his mid range and had almost 0 air in it, which I thought was pretty face up. And actually, I think, I mean, obviously you don't want to commit ice game suicide, but if I was the other players, I would be throwing in a lot of turn over bets against his check back ranges because he's just so capped.
Yeah, I felt the same thing.
So
Let's see if Bloomfield bluffs some river. Probably not this river. He's going to
it looks like Beckley checked the turn as well.
just turn the volume off on Twitch. You're not very GTO for this.
This is weird. It's behind me. I don't know. This is weird.
Yeah, but you where we are now, so that's good.
So yeah, I actually think it's pretty interesting that Beckley didn't bet the turn. I don't really get it, to be honest.
Yeah, I think betting the turn here is good too. I think Bloomfield either has something that he's going to give up, or he's going to call down, like a hand like Jack 10 or Ace 10 or 9-8, 9-7. All these hands have good equity to call turn. I think I'd bet really big as well because Bloomfield's either going to definitely call, or he's definitely going to fold. Like Ace 3, he's definitely folding the turn. But if he has a hand like 9-8, even a hand like 6-7 or 6-8, he's never folded the turn, especially when he checks back flop. So I would bet something like 80% against Bloomfield there. Because usually we're only going to get one street, so it'd be nice to get like a really big street.
And I wonder, as played, when he did check the turn, what was his plan once if Bloomfield had bet? It's a pretty awkward stack spot to have a check raise.
Yeah, I think you have to check a raise just because when Bloomfield checks the flop, he's not going to bet turn and river for value. Like I don't expect him to bet like even if he has like queens on the river, I expect him to check back. Also, there's lots of bad rivers like a 7 and 8, a jack, a queen, an ace. Like so many rivers kill your action. So I think you have to check raise to turn, even if it's like undesirable for your range. I think it's better to do it. I would just go for max EV and max exploits against Bloomfield in that kind of spot. I think that's also why I would lead the turn because I don't think having a check raise range there is necessarily good. Because most times that you want to check raise like hands like 10 jack or something like that or 9-8, you're just gonna check call those. So there's no reason to check raise them. I would say. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't think it makes sense there to have a check raising range. Well, actually, I think it does, but I wouldn't really have many value hands in there with a check raising a decent amount of air. Oh, not a decent amount of air, but...
Well, if it's flat from the small blind, so he doesn't really have those kind of hands to check raise bluff. Like,
Oh, sorry, I assumed he was from the big blind, actually. I missed that part.
How he's played that the king on 10 flop, I would just instantly shut down and never put a single chip in the pot.
As Bloomfield?
Is that I don't even know what he did. I tried to follow your stream and I can't.
So flop went check, turn went check, river he led and got a fold. I mean, if anything, once I do get the river, I'm actually tempted to check again. Once I've checked the flop on the turn.
Not versus Bloomfield because it's good versus someone that would value bet in, but even if Bloomfield has a 9, he's going to snap check it.
Yeah, but what about like a hand like Jack? Do you think he just take Bloomfield auto bets like Jack 10 on the turn? He's definitely betting on the river.
yeah. I'm not sure he's going to bet call though.
That is probably true.
Against you guys, I like double checking and then check raise and river, but against Bloomfield, I wouldn't say it was the best line. Yeah, so who's gone up in chips then? I guess they've all kind of maintained their chip stacks, right? Like Bloomfield's dropped a little bit. The other guys have won a pot each.
Yep. I think Beckley's probably won the most.
Again, I mean, I think this is just a poor play by Beckley. Like first hand post flop again. I think it's just a very bad check on the turn with Queen Jack. I just think it's a very standard bet on the turn. Bet very big and bet river. I just think I think Beckley's shown throughout the final table he just has like very poor fundamental poker skills. Like I think he's made almost every decision post flop incorrectly. Like the king jack call on day one was almost inexcusable, and I think this turn check is inexcusable too. I don't really want to hate on him so much, but I just feel like it's either very naive or something's gone wrong with him that he hasn't had the sufficient coaching to kind of work out these kind of stuff. Like I just would imagine he'd be doing like simulations every day, like all potential spots. Like, okay, Blumenfield checks back. What are we going to do against him on different board textures? But he's just making a mistake like this, where each mistake is going to cost him like hundreds of thousands in equity, or just feels kind of frustrating to watch. You know, like you're just wishing that you were there. But obviously, when you're there and the lights are on, it's obviously going to be difficult. But sometimes it's frustrating to watch.
And at the end of the day as well, poker players aren't perfect, and that's why we play the game. I do think like some of that is at least a bit strong in terms of, I don't know. I mean, a lot of these players, like we said before, Becky's only been playing poker for a year, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, but you also had like 4 months to prepare and get
Sure, but I mean, 4 months is still 4 months. It's not like 6 years of playing poker and.
Yeah, I'd still work out like how to get the maximum value with the nuts. You know, I mean that's.
No, I completely agree. I think it was a mistake, but for saying it's like the worst thing in the world, I mean, it's
also to kind of realize, not understanding that Joe's going to be betting whenever he doesn't have anything on flops on like A-side boards, like on day one. Like that's something he should have worked out with his team. That if Joe checks back A-side boards, then he's probably got it. You know.
Sorry, in this hand here, Joe's actually limped the small blind again for the first time against Blumenfield, and look with King 10 offsuit, and looks like Blumenfield's raising up with Queen 8.
I think this is something his rail would have been saying to him, because Joe limped about 5 times yesterday with hands like 10-7 off, 6-8 off, 5-4 offsuit. So I think Blumenfield's rail probably told him that his limping range is really weak here.
Joe's limping is entirely.
And do you think that's a mistake? Do you think Joe should be raising against someone like Neil?
No.
I don't think Blumenfield knows that he's limping his whole range. All Blumenfield knows is that McKeon's limped 5 times with 5 hands. I'm not sure Blumenfield knows that, like, okay, he's probably going to have this strategy. All he's seen is that McKeon's limped 10-7 and 5-4 offsuits. He just says, okay, his limping range is weak. I don't think he's on like level 4 to get there or whatever. I think his team probably all have it.
So would you ever raise here as Joe?
No. I would raise here with a lot of people, but Blumenfield's not capable of tooling out. So yeah, it's funny. Blumenfield's sizing super small. It's so funny that Joe's just going to call now.
I think this is just a perfect hand to have in your check call range with the 10 of clubs as well. I mean, I'm just closing my eyes and calling almost
Exactly.
anywhere.
So I guess pretty interesting turn. Blumenfield picks up some equity.
I think it hits McKeon's range a lot harder than it hits Blumenfield. So I think Blumenfield's not raising hands like 9-8 offsuit, and even Queen 8 offsuit's not really going to be in his perceived raising range pre-flop. But McKeon has a lot of these 9-8s and 10-9s and 10-8s and 6-8s. So I think Blumenfield should be checking here. I think if you bet the turn, you absolutely have to bet the river. Like betting 2 streets and checking the river here is like a huge technical disaster, I'd say. But if you bet the turn and bomb the river, I think it's pretty okay with this exact hand like Queen 8.
I would fire exactly one bullet here or 3, and the third one would be pretty sizable here.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's going to size super small, and Joe's just going to call. He's going to bet like 6 million, so it's going to be a terrible bet. Because Joe might fold for like an actual decent bet, but he's going to bet like 6 million if he bets, and he might even knit up and check.
Joe called quite happy bet.
He's going to bet 6 million. It's just terrible. The
thing is, it's not representing much here though. Like Joe's not really going to buy it. Like Joe's not going to buy that he has like a hand like 7-5 or 6-5 or 8-9 or 10-5, 10-6. It's going to be pretty easy.
Yeah, he's going to call 7 million. He's getting 3-1. He's just going to tank call every time. So bad.
Yeah, betting this river for Blumenfield, I think, is definitely I don't think it's good. And also, like McKeon just has a lot of good hands. Like he's
really I don't think Joe has like very few 4x here and not many flushes either. I mean,
yeah, but Blumenfield doesn't have 4x either.
Sure, but he has flushes. He has sets.
McKeon has hands like 6-7, like 5-7, like 8-9.
Oh, wow, he's on a 5-3 here, guys. I mean, he's repping pretty thin, but
I like it. I like it. Sizing.
I want to hear what Joe's saying.
I don't like his sizing so much. I mean, when you bet his sizing, what is he trying to fold out, and how thinly is he value betting? Do you think? Would you bet jacks on the river here, Justin, or not?
No.
Blumenfield spot.
I mean, Joe could also check raise here as
If he's on the
well.
flop in the turn.
Yeah, okay, let's say, would your strategy be betting jacks if you...
Yes, probably. Maybe not on the 5 of clubs river, no, because I think
That's
just
too thin. I think Joe's going to realize this and see that
wait.
like, he's not really betting thinly.
no way he's folding. He has to call.
Would
feel
you
like
like raising here as Joe?
No, he's gonna call every time. He's just making sure. There's no way he finds a fold.
I wouldn't raise. I don't think Bloomfield's bet folding that many better hands. I think he's gonna like niche back push jacks and stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I think it's ambitious to try to fold him off like 2-pair, even. And also, I don't think he has 2 pairs in his range the way that he plays. Deceived anyway.
Split call, Joe. I'm surprised he's. I mean, I guess he's playing for a ton of money, so I'm not hating. But.
I know, and maybe we're being very Antonio Esfandiari here by saying it's an easy call and stuff. But I think, yeah,
Actually,
I don't
I
want
think
to
he might
look
fold.
at cards and be like, oh yeah, obviously he's bluffing here, you know, because that's a very easy thing to do. But
Good call, Joe. I knew he was called.
I mean, I have to say, we give some credit here to Neil for like following through. I mean, it's
very good.
You get the credit though, it's because he's betting small. Like if he bet 12 million, Joe might fold. For 3-1, Joe can call every time. People say so. How do you have like basic?
Especially when it's early on in Bloomfield's showing propensity to kind of go after these early spots. And
yeah, like I haven't really seen him like fire through here.
Look at these stats now. 143, 29, 19.
And Joe makes a nice call there, wins the pot.
I think it's a good call, very good call. Obviously, I think it's a good call. Big props to Joe, I think.
I think he'd do that call if it wasn't for so much money.
And then the stack's now really going to change. Bloomfield now only has 20 blinds, and Beckley's in second
I was talking to Joe last night, and I said I didn't think Bloomfield would be trying a ladder. And look, he barrels away with there.
And how do you think this is going to change? How Beckley's going to play? He's kind of just Beckley's now seeing that Bloomfield just doesn't really care, so he has to play a lot tighter. And,
I think the big question is Bloomfield just going to punt it off now or not? You know, like.
Well, he's blinds deep now. He could reshove, so.
And how well is Bloomfield's reshove game as well? You know, and how well is he defending off 20 big blinds?
Because like you could like anyone to reshove. So.
I mean,
maybe reshove him too tight is what I was trying to imply.
I mean, I think as Joe, you have to be shoving him super wide. And I think I would assume, given the time frame, that that's one of the easiest things that can be taught well in a short amount of time.
But then we saw with Canuli that like maybe some of the guys didn't specialize on that stuff. I think it's a good raise by Joe, by the way. Beckley doesn't like defending his big blind. Blumenfield probably is gonna like not want to blow up, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think Beckley just has to play pretty straightforward here. Can't get too out of line.
I would raise a little bit larger though as McKean. I think
no, he's not. He's folding king 8 off to a min raise. Why would you raise larger?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he is going to fold king 8 today. I think he realized. I think Sherp's going to be in his corner telling him like, don't do that, you know.
He's folding king 8 off to a min raise, bro. I would raise 1.5x if they let me. You know it's right. It's like obviously like you're talking about how to play well, but like he's.
So have you guys noticed anything about Blumenfield's breathing in terms of like when he starts to heavy breathe?
What I did notice is that Neil was looking at Joe that hand. I want to see I saw like how after he raised he looked at Joe. I'm going to see like if he has value if he looks away from Joe next time.
Interesting.
He looked at Joe when he had aces last time. He was and he free bet him. He was staring him down a lot. That's why I noticed yesterday. So maybe he's just doing it all the time.
Yeah, I didn't really look at him.
How old is Blumenfield? Do you know? Like 60s?
I don't know. I would say in his late 40s, early 50s. I guess early 50s is more likely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's nice to see that he can reshove ace nine offsuit for.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. He's getting good coaching at least in that regard.
I mean, and he seemed to do it with relative ease. He didn't seem too agonized about it. Apparently, he's 61. I got that very wrong. My age radar is way off. So Beckley has limped the small blind against Joe with a6 offsuit. And Joe has checked. Do you think Beckley, when Beckley limps here, he's pretty much got a very narrow limp folding range?
Plano plaids. Well, how would you approach that flop with a6 suited? Would you min bet, or would you check fold? I don't think you'd check fold. I would min bet a lot. I think with a6 suited exactly without flipping the back door, I might check fold in this exact spot.
I believe it's offsuit, so he has no better flush draw here.
I think when the board is ace-xx or king-xx and it's small blind versus big blind in limp pot, it's good to like min bet or bet just over one big blind almost with every single hand in your range.
That's how most people play. At least a hand like a6, if it could improve, you know, you could turn a 5, turn an ace, you could have the best hand, you could protect. It's just like, it's hard for him to
he check fold.
I know. I was just saying how you would play it. I would min bet a lot. But...
I get that.
Too. I mean, also when you bet, Joe's going to fold hands like Jack 7 like that, and when you check, he's going to bet. Like this just shows why doing that is. If you
Jack 7, Joe could get super keys. Joe wants. Just whatever pops he wants to win.
If you made the final table, Justin, who would you have had as your coach, or who would you have gotten coaching from?
I would just use my own team, my friends.
Out of your friends, who do you think would be the best guy to have as a coach?
I mean, if I were to ask anyone, it would be Timex, just for live tells and whatnot. But I mean, my ego would probably not let me have the Timex, so would go. But like, if I had to suggest someone to coach, it would be Timex, obviously.
Interesting.
How about you, Patrick?
And he knows like a good formula to do it in. He knows the things that didn't work and the things that did work. I think using guys who've been there and done that is a good idea. Maybe even someone like Jesse Sylvia. Like I know he coached Max Steinberg, and I know I think Max played pretty coolly, but I think someone, I'm not saying exactly Jesse Sylvia. I think he's a good player and a very nice guy, but those are the kind of guys who I would go for. Maybe like Russell Thomas. I just have those kind of guys in my team. I'm not saying he'd be the guy I'd make sure every decision was right, but I think it's quite clever to take these kind of guys. And Greg Merson, maybe like he like loves the main event. He has good ideas, different stuff like this. And even if he's not like telling you exactly like how to play your
stuff. You've played with any of them this year. There's no way you've played with Jesse Sylvia. You're saying now.
I mean, I think he's a nice guy. I think he's decent.
So you're gonna have people up on coaching based on their being a nice guy?
No, I think he's going to help you in ways where someone like maybe, I'm not saying Timex, but someone else may not be able to help you, you know? Like they've been there, they know the stuff that they did incorrectly, they know the stuff that they regret. And what do you think, Max, about that kind of thing?
Well, actually, so I was part of a guy who got third in the main in 2012, Jake Borsager, and we actually ended up hiring Timex as a group. And why I think Timex is a very capable and good coach, I felt like his heart wasn't really in it as much as a lot of people. So I would definitely want to pick someone who I felt really cared and like valued. Like, so I think in a way, like picking like a friend in a lot of ways, it actually has a lot more benefit because they have a lot of they can kind of like put their hopes onto yours and really kind of focus and work hard.
It's going to send Justin's ego into a different universe, but I'd probably hire Justin and Fido just because they're both very good and they both knew the guys and had tells and reads on the guys and could help with strategies for that kind of stuff. So I guess the first two guys I'd ask would be Justin and Fido. It'd be a pretty fun team to have Justin and Fido like battling back and forth about the correct strategy to play against Blumenfield's free bets and stuff like that, I think.
I'm surprised you guys haven't mentioned him, but I would think someone like Scott Seaver would also be very good. I think he's one of the best and is very good at kind of all the various skills.
Yeah, Seaver would be good.
Seaver's definitely one of the best. Sure.
I think he'd charge me too much money, though.
I think that's fair.
What about Reach the Beast, Justin?
What?
What about Reach the Beast?
Nah. It's Beast. There's no chance he's 4-bet shoving this.
Well, we haven't seen an open yet, Justin.
He's opening ace 10 off.
No. I don't hear you. I'll do the commentary wherever you're at, and then you can give us your opinion.
It's funny, if the stacks get a little bit shorter, Joe could just start shoving, too.
Yeah. I mean, that would be pretty fun.
which is funny because Beckley, I think, cares more than. So this is awesome. He did see awesome.
So Beckley's open. Beckley's just
So
open.
the same size. It's the same sizing as before, 2.2 and 4.8.
Well, we haven't seen his cards yet, but yeah, Beckley's just open to 2.2, and we're sweating the free bet right now. From Joe.
It's a pretty interesting spot, actually.
I don't see what he has. You?
Antonio shoves in praise.
Tens?
McKean's got 10-8 off.
I mean, I think either calling or shoving is fine.
With ace 10?
With ace 10.
I think shove. I think
I think shoving is better, but I think folding would be a humongous mistake.
Yeah, we're obviously not going to fold, I don't think. But maybe he folds. I mean, if he folds, then I'm switching.
I mean, I would bet some money on him folding.
No, I mean, I'm going to bet. I'm going to bet if he folds. I'm serious.
He's got live reads, bro. He's gonna I put him on ace jack.
No. He's going all in. He's good. Yeah, he's going to fold and go to his rail and tell me put him on ace queen off.
He's folding. He's got it.
Has Joe always been?
You know what's funny is he's never gonna flat.
Which hands is McKeon inducing here? Like ace jack plus, you think?
Yeah, I assume he also. I assume he just rips ace jack. To be honest.
Yeah, I think he'd shove ace jack too. That's what I was trying to get at. So I mean,
Told you he's folding. Nice live reads, buddy.
I mean, if he folds, then raising is just a terrible strategy. Like he needs to stop.
Of course.
He needs to start limping. I mean, he needs to limp.
He has no clue though. He's just gonna keep clicking aggressive. It's just gonna be a bleed down until the cooler between the two short stacks. This is the easiest. This is so sick. I got 14th in the fucking final table with fucking 8 idiots. It's so sick. It really is. And I thought Steinberg was a lot better, and he misplayed every hand.
Yeah, you were licking his ass the whole footage.
No, because I had position on him. I didn't want him.
No, I was like, Max, you're the best.
I didn't believe it, but yeah, but that was part of my strategy. It's not like I thought it was obviously a lot better than him.
I just assumed that you were trolling him.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a troll. Whatever, it's all bad.
I thought you'd been serious.
But also, I think when you make it clear that you know like how capable he is, he's gonna play very kind of like straightforward against you. So I actually really like the table talk that you did.
Maybe you're the best, Tristan. You know, maybe. It's right.
And obviously, that fold was I think very bad, but
the fold itself isn't that bad. I mean, like from like ace and off versus any value range, and even though he's 3-betting like so much air, it's just like his strategy shouldn't include raise folding that kind of a hand. Like he should limp.
So if he limps the ace 10 off, how do you think Joe plays 10-8 off in the small blind?
I mean, he just completes.
I think he completes too. Yeah.
I don't think Joe takes the kind of spots where it's easy to bypass pressure. He doesn't take the kind of hard ones. I think.
I agree.
Yeah. No, you're very right. That's his strategy, Max. But like that's not like how he plays poker. Like it's not like he's like weak. It's just like at this table, I think it's best because the players.
Yeah, I mean, I think Joe is basically hyper exploiting his opponents who have major leaks. I mean, that's pretty simple, really. They're just not adjusting. Plus the fact he can obviously apply huge pressure here with the ICM considerations.
Beckley should have went straight over to his rail and told him what he did, and then find out how to adjust. Oh, we have a free bet. This is wow. I think he should just be shoving nines here, right?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, you don't want McKeon to flat jack and two.
I mean, I think I would fold here as Joe.
Yeah, but I think shoving here with nines is going to be way better than trying to induce nines against McKeon.
I completely agree.
He's placing button. He's like, what do I do? He knows that that's decising the 3-bet, and he's going to do it with every hand he plays. If he had king queen off, he would do it, and then tank was a shove. I promise you. I'm serious. He's shown that he 3-bet 8s, as you pointed out yesterday. Like, why are you giving him credit to adjust?
So Patrick, what would be the worst hand there that you would try and induce with for value?
I would induce jacks, and I think tens is close. But I think jacks, I would induce with.
What about, ace king?
I think it's good to have a lot of 3-bet bluffs there. I mean, when Joe opens, he's open 9-3 offsuit. I think 3-bet bluffing is pretty good, especially with like a tightish image. Like 3-bet bluffing something like king X offsuit or queen X offsuit. I think it's going to be printing against Joe's opens, especially if Joe's like folding Jack 10 offsuit to the free bet. I'm not saying Jack 10 offsuit to defend, but he's folded a lot to the free bet. So I think free bet folding is very good. But I don't think you should necessarily extend your value range to nines too. You know, it's one of those spots where you think
has gone to
exploiting
Neo
guys
now,
is
and
possible.
he's decided to raise 2.5x. So this is his first open raise on the button.
I think he's done one already. I can't remember. He won the first time.
Do you remember his sizing? Wow, we have the exact same hands here. That's crazy.
See bet or check back nines, Justin?
What?
Would you see bet or check back nines here?
As Blumenfield, I would see bet. As me, I might check that.
You would bet call, right? With nines versus a jam. And
Yeah.
Joe's check queen nines, yeah.
I don't. Yeah, but it's funny. Trying to Skype me. Like they were all trying to pretend that Beckley was the boss for folding jacks versus queens yesterday, but he's just really tight. McKeon's still limping his entire range.
What do you think about McKeon raising the flop there, Jack 10?
What do I think of McKeon? What?
Raising the flop there, putting pressure on the flop, clicking back the flop, and not expecting Blumenfield to get too stubborn without hands.
He's had a lot of chances to do that this table, and like, I just think and I agree with Joe, but like those are the only decisions that I disagree that like I could see myself doing something different than. But I think that Joe's logic is just like they're just playing so weak that like he doesn't have to put himself in those spots. Like it's
I
more
agree.
high
Like
variance,
Joe can
like,
essentially just
he
like
doesn't have to
has
put
the
in spots
license
and
to
he's
print
just
money here.
like the most he has to wager is 5 big blinds, and he's going to win this simulation every time. You know, so like why does he have to do that? You know,
Yeah.
because every time you do that, like people generally stick it. Like you have to put in a little bit more sometimes. Like he doesn't have to do it.
So, Max, talk us through this one. How was it following?
So we have a limp from Joe and then a check from Neil with King 3 suited.
Let's see if Neil stations here. He probably will.
I mean, he definitely has to
There's
score one.
there's something on blind. It's spade, club,
Yeah.
club.
Well,
So,
we're only on the turn now, so
So yeah, Joe's just bet the flop and Neil's called. Turn is a 10 of clubs. Okay. Yeah, I think it's a decent spot for Joe to fire through. I would not like firing two.
yeah. But then again, maybe it's unnecessary. Like you said, he can just print doing what he's doing. I'm not sure.
And Neo checks very fast, actually. It's quite interesting.
Oh wow, this is an interesting river. Top pair versus a flush.
So Joe's in a bet, and then we'll see how kind of greedy Neo gets here. And I assume Joe will fold.
I mean, how wide is Blumenfield shoving for value on the river?
I mean, how wide is he bluffing here? Just like out the blue, like when he can just call with so many hands. Like,
What?
spoiler alert.
Joe's probably going to fold.
So we have a bet to 1.8, and we're waiting to see how much Neo makes it.
You know Blumenfield has a flush, Justin, right?
Oh, no, I did not know that. I can't see. I'm blind.
Justin's like, oh my god, he's turning bottom pair.
Yeah, he just has the nuts, I'm afraid.
How are you? This beast is why they should have 4-color decks, you know?
Yeah, it's quite a quick raise.
I just see a bunch of black cards in the screen. How do you expect me to be able to read that? I knew Joe would fold. Joe's playing perfect poker.
Alright, spoiler alert there.
Joe would fold 2 pair there even.
Maybe he thinks Blumenfield would raise 2 pair.
No. So stacks are 26, 28, and 150 or 140, right? Or whatever the rest.
So how much thought do you put here as Joe in terms of trying to keep your opponents to a kind of like similar like attack size, or do you pretty much just play your cards?
I think Joe's trying to win every hand.
It's funny because like you'd think eventually that Blumenfield and McKee and Beckley are going to adjust and like not start opening without. But like I really wouldn't bet any of them. They had 120 days to get better at poker. Why are they going to get better in the last hour? I mean, like you'd think that like naturally you'd think that they'd adjust, right? But let's see what goes on here. I try not to spoil, by the way. I try to stay behind.
Yeah.
I try. The internet's too bad here. I don't have good
Right now,
internet.
there's no action, so the no cards have been dealt. We're still pre-flop, no action.
Joe's on the button and he's gonna raise. Maybe he could just raise blind. I mean, like he's raising any two. Maybe he can just does he even have to look?
I mean, I wouldn't raise blind because
There's no reason to really. You may as well not not tell your opponents your exact strategy.
I was
Joe McKeon. So.
Let's see what Beckley does in the big blind.
So yeah, we have Joe Green King suited on the button, and Beckley's in the high tank.
$26 big blinds.
Joe just raised his eyebrows. I don't know what that means.
Ah, okay. 7 deuce. We can accept that one.
I mean, I don't know why he's tanking.
They should just keep sizing smaller and see if they ever adjust and flat a 3-bet, you know. Like, at one point, just troll them, just click it back and see if they flat. Nah, they just fold. They would. You have to make decisions post-flop. You might look like an idiot playing for $7 million. God, how come it wasn't me trying to make everyone, if I made a mistake, oh my God, they'd make fun of me so much. It'd be awesome. I'd love to be in a position to get made fun of.
So we have 900 people sweating us on the stream now. That's good.
It's pretty good. We just hit 1,000 a little while ago, but I guess, yeah.
Yeah, considering Rooney decided to do it a few hours ago.
That's pretty good, guys. I have to say. And thank you guys for both of you for joining us today, because it's a lot more fun to do this with friends.
So do you guys want to tell the world about your headset much or not?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's do it. So Justin, I was over at Jason Somerville's house for the 4th of July party, and looking at Twitter and see Justin tweet, everyone play Heads Up PLO, and it's one of my main games online. Play a decent amount, and how often do you guys play live Heads Up PLO? It's pretty fucking. And anyway, so then I messaged Justin. We arranged to meet up at the Venetian playing 25.50, and he very kindly offered to pay the rake as well, which is even more nice of him. And then proceeded to win $25,000 off me.
25, okay.
And I think my
I think 200-hand sample of Heads Up PLO obviously means that I'm a lot better at Heads Up PLO.
I think that's fair to say. And one of my favorite quotes of the night was, "I want to be happy that I'm taking money off you, but you're just too nice."
That's what Justin said.
Yeah.
What's sweet?
Justin said to me.
That's sweet, Justin.
Yeah.
Even though I did lose 25k, it was actually a lot of fun. Justin's.
I do Reddit, and see, that's the thing. Like, so many people in the 2+2, like, they hate on me. Like, they think I'm like some sort of like antisocial like Greek. But like, I'm pretty sure everyone that's played with me in live poker, like, I'm the kind of person invited to home games always. Like, I'm good for the game. Like, I engage for the P. I'm like one of the better people for the game always. As you can see, I pay people's rate, get them to play me Heads Up.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, it was a fun match. I think I didn't run the best, but I think Justin played pretty good. I mean, he did some fun stuff. Like, one hand, he decided to check raise the flop on a flush board and show the ace of diamonds, and then he just bet, and I was actually gonna call most rivers, but I got especially bad river on that one, so I ended up folding a 4-pair hand actually. But I was pretty tilted with that one. He just I fold the river and he just like shows me just like four random cards that didn't make a flush. So he got me.
No, it's good. It's good. I like it.
Back to the poker.
So we're back now, yeah.
Yeah, back now.
Who's got the button? Bloomfield folds. Still haven't seen a limp on the whole final table yet, apart from small blind.
Did Beckley limp the button?
Limp to
No,
small.
Beckley's in the small blind right now, I think. And he has, it looks like he's limped, yeah.
Jackman of Hearts.
Okay.
He's gonna just call it, right?
Would you ever limb jam here? I know it's a lot, and you can just
It's not a lot. I would sometimes.
I would limp call. I think it's a good hand to limp call. Plays.
I know. I completely agree. I'm just wondering if.
I would limp shove like deuces through to sevens and probably limp raise call like eights and nines. Even eight seems a little bit too thin.
What are your thoughts about? I actually quite like this check as bet actually. I think it's a much better ball for Joe, and I think Joe's in the bet for sure.
Yeah, and he's probably gonna barrel off on hearts too.
So yeah, I actually think what lots of people wouldn't think. Oh, you have a flush draw, you should bet. But when Joe checks in the big blind, he has a lot of like the 4 deuce offsuit, the 7-4 offsuit, the 6-5, the 6-3. He has all the 2 pairs.
Beckley's going for a raise. No.
Yes, he's raising.
Wow, he is raising. What is he?
Because you can't play without the initiative.
Yeah, I don't like this.
Like,
what's he doing against a 3-bet?
Doesn't matter. He just wants to win the pot.
I understand, but I think this is a mistake. Even though he wins the pot now and could potentially have been bluffed later, I think
it's a standard innovation from his rail.
Pocket aces.
We haven't seen that yet. I don't want to hear anything.
so. We know some of these. We don't know who yet. There's actually been a lot of aces on this final table, actually, hasn't there?
A lot of premiums, yeah. Like every few hands, someone's got.
But yeah, like no real huge coolers. Like I mean, I guess we had the Queen's against Jack's hand, which should have been a cooler, but somehow ended up not being one.
Well, we had 10 to the aces, kind of
Yeah.
cooler. Canuli versus Steinbeck.
Okay, so we have Joe's in the small blind, Beckley's fold the button, and
Justin's doing his best poker face. I love it. He's doing it for the stream, you know. He's doing it for 2+2. All right, so McKean's got aces. He's
he's actually raised.
He doesn't limp. That's interesting.
So you were saying he's limping his whole range here.
There you are, Justin. He's limping his whole range, huh? Justin's poker face is brilliant. I love it.
Has it been half an hour yet since the Queen 8 offsuit hand?
And he shows the aces, you know? Blumenfield's like, I know. Blumenfield's like, you don't have to show me. I know you've got it, you know? You're limping your bad hands. You're raising your good hands. Stealth Monk's wrong. Plano's right. You know, it's good. I like it. Makes me feel good, too. What do you think about the raise, Justin, with aces?
I wouldn't even look at my cards, man. I don't like the show.
Yeah, the show's good.
Do you think Joe has reason for showing, or?
I would show, obviously. Obviously, he wants him to think that he's tighter than he is.
No, sure, but I mean, it's his first open raise in the small blind. It seems.
Oh, he opened in the small blind?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, we said that you're wrong about your assumption of the
What a
strategy.
fish. Actually, that's not that bad because, like, he might just ship over him. It's like, I don't know. With 2 aces, I would limp.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should raise kings. There's obviously way more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, kings.
Way more ace
So
X
yeah,
combos.
aces, as Antonio loves talking about the blocker effect.
There we are. McKean just shows a king to the camera, cheekily.
King of hearts.
That's all he needs. I mean, the short stacks are really if they keep bleeding chips all the time now, they're gonna go down.
But then I also wonder now that Joe has had the aces and raised and shown, is he going to start to raise his small blind now? That might just be kind of like he just changed his overall plan now to start raising.
I think so. They don't show the payouts very often on here. I'm expecting to show the payouts. Do you know the exact payouts?
So yeah, so I actually had the payouts on Twitch here. So third is 3.4, second is 4.47, and first is 7.68.
All right. Again, Blumenfield folds his button. I think he's folded his button like 5 out of 6, maybe 4 out of 5 times.
It's really a real shame we don't get to see the cards that don't get played, because I think it would really give a lot of insights into the strategies of on the various players.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm impressed with So it's not like we're trashing Beckley so much. Like I played a lot with him. Like for someone that's played poker for so little and like playing for so much money, like he definitely composes himself. Like he doesn't give away any tells. Like he doesn't seem like nervous at all. Like granted he's clicking a lot of buttons, but like he's not playing that terribly. And, like he just holds himself pretty well for someone that is not experienced at all. Like if I made the final table main event my first year playing poker, I would look like not even close to as composed as he is. You know.
I think this is an interesting spot. I don't love the bet with Queen 8, unless it's starting to bet a lot of air here.
Yeah, but
He hasn't really been shown to be doing.
What's the board? Jack, Queen?
Yeah, with 2 diamonds, 1 heart.
Yeah, I think when Joe's been like probing a lot, I think check call-in's like super standard. I think it's ambitious to get more than 2 streets. I just think check in and
Well, I
get
think even more than 1 street. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I mean Joe's folding. Joe's definitely going to start betting 9-8 offsuit there. I think on the flop.
I agree with that.
I think leading that is not the best. I would probably have like Jack X and then draws and check call like Ace Highs and Queen X. Maybe flush draws. Beckley's raised to 2.3 million, Justin. That's where we're at.
On the button, King Jack
I
offsuit.
see that too.
Joe gives him it. Wouldn't know what he folded. Probably something not very good. 3-bet 10-8 offsuit, so probably folded a pretty bad hand.
It's interesting to hear that. Has Beckley sized up, or is it just his normal size here?
Nah, he was making it.
Awesome. Blumenfield 3-bet A7 suited.
He was making it 2.25.
He's gonna fold. He's gonna. This is awesome. He's gonna fold. They're just saying this is awesome. Full A7 suited.
I mean, I should be angry that he's spoiling it, but it's just so funny watching his reaction to it.
You need to level us once, you know. Like you're two face up with your tells here. You need to level us once and pretend to.
This is hilarious.
Well, I mean, if Beckley's folding Ace 10 offsuit to a 3-bet, maybe it's not bad. You know, you're just printed.
This is so perfect.
This is just so weird. This is just like
You got
someone's.
Flynn. Wow.
He should just instantly shove.
Yes!
Wow.
Everyone is so bad at poker. Great, I'm gonna troll Matt though now, but
So for someone like Beckley to claim that he got that he got something off of Joe there.
He's got another read.
But no, but then he snap jammed. Why wouldn't you just like take a bit longer and try and get that live read that you claim you have on?
Maybe he already had the read.
Oh, I mean, well, when you're playing for this much money, why wouldn't you just make sure take a time bit longer? You know.
Things don't work post flop.
Maybe he feels like Blumenfield is free betting these kind of hands like Ace X, and if he goes all in really quickly, then he can look stronger. Like maybe if he tanks and tanks and tanks and then shoves King Jack, maybe Blumenfield decides to just flick it in with the 7 suited. But when he snap jams, maybe Blumenfield's be like, oh wow, well, he's probably got a better hand.
I don't think that Bloomfield is going to call off.
Maybe not 8-7, but maybe some kind of Midland hand.
Like ace, like even like I guess a hand like Ace Jack or something like that. Maybe he might do that with.
Ace 9 offsuit, maybe something Ace 10 offsuit.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he had like Ace Jack and then like went like super deep in the tank and ended up folding.
But again, this shows us that Blumenfield doesn't like to see flops, even when he can see a flop and close the action. So when Joe's limping the small blind with all these bad hands, I think it's pretty bad. I would just raise because Blumenfield shows like he doesn't want to see a flop, you know.
But I just want to bring up what I said at the start of this, which I did say in Skype that the stacks are different now, but I told you that Blumenfield would be still 3-betting his 15% or whatever and not see flops. So I told you that Joe could 4-bet any 2 cards. At the start,
Yeah.
I told Joe that last night. I said that in the Skype. I mean, it's different now that he's speed away half a stack, but clearly he's going to keep playing like his hands, and he's only going to continue if he has a hand worthy of your tournament life, which is, I guess, at this point, Ace Jack, 10s plus or 9s plus, 8s plus, something like that.
So what chance do you think Blumenfield would have 3-bet called there for like 27 big blinds? Ace Jack off and 8s plus, you said?
Probably, maybe 9s. But he's 3-betting everything else because you can't flat. So it's like not very balanced.
So how would you play as Beckley? Would you flat King Jack or would you jam? I don't think folding's an option against that kind of.
So much. That's the thing. Like I would be limping so much, so it's hard. I would probably be limping. My strategy. I would be limping everything. I'm sure you'd be doing the same thing in this spot. So like I wouldn't open king jack off. I would limp it, and I would trust my reads, and I would make a lot of decisions post flop, and basically be the person getting the last raise in always.
Is this Beckley's fault or is it his coach's fault? Or is it both?
I mean, when you have someone that's as like in their own world that could like play a hand like he did with the jacks and run over to his rail and say I put him on queens, like there are people like I've coached. I'm sure you've coached a lot of people, and like I've coached a lot of people too, whatever. And like I found that like the ego and whatnot, like there are certain people like you can't get to them, you know. Yeah. Like I've coached like some smart people or whatnot too, and like they'll just be like, "No, I had a read," you know. No, that you just can't get to them. And Beckley seems like one of those people, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
as an overall strategy though, like
you can't be like you played that wrong. You can't be like your entire fundamental perception of how you look at the game is completely flawed and you should quit right now. No, they're just like, nah, I had to read. I was right. Boom.
Who are the guys in Joe's rail with Carl? Like, loads of random, like, unrecognizable guys.
I think it's Jonathan Tamayo on Cal's right.
Is that who it is?
It'd be really funny if Joe has fives here. It'd be really funny if Joe just limped here so he could get in the last raise on that. But I feel like people are going to 3-bet fold it. It's weird because they're a little shorter now.
We can't see. It's still pre-flop.
Played him like that.
It's still pre-flop for us right now.
I guess Joe's in the bottom.
At his final table, he randomly limped the low pocket pair.
Who?
Greg Merson at his final table, like the exact hand, but he played it. And like last time I was watching it, it'd be really cool if his range was 2s to 5s or whatever, and like that was what he had.
Yeah. He
just randomly limped and he had a low in one of those spots where you could just limp your raise. And...
So McKeon's raising 5s here, and then Blumenfield's folded. I'm just doing commentary so that Justin stays along with us. And Beckley's in the big blind, and he's tanking. Doesn't mean so much. He tank folded 7 deuce offsuit last time. Okay, he calls. All right. We're at the flop now, Justin.
So Beckley has a7 offsuit, and the flop is.
What do you think about protection? What do you think here, Justin, about betting 5s versus checking back?
See, like in general, I would bet 5s in this exact flop for more protection and whatnot, just because. But like the way they're all playing, like the way Beckley's playing and whatnot, and everything, like I agree with Joe how he's playing so far to check it back. Like he's always going to make the right decisions moving forward.
I mean, yesterday Beckley bet twice when Joe checked back 9-8 on Jack 8x.
Like he's going to bet so small, they don't put him in tough spots, you know. And he checks. See, he's not in any tough spots. He might value.
Oh, he's betting here.
What's the reasoning for betting A7 on this turn? Is this a protection bet by Beckley? Is he bluffing? Is he value betting?
I mean, it's definitely not a protection bet. I think against the way Joe's playing, his check range has you in pretty bad shape here.
Yeah, Joe's got like ace 10 plus and ace X plus and then
like 8-9, 7-8 type hands.
Maybe even Queen X occasionally too, right? Sometimes.
If Beckley checks the river, his turn bet is one of the worst bets I've seen.
If he checks.
Yeah, I mean, I just think firing one bullet here is just burning money, really.
Yeah, I don't think he knows why. I don't think he's thinking. He bet really quickly. He just randomly decided to just put some chips in the pot with literally no thought process.
And Joe's going to check him in the pot here. I mean,
Joe's value betting.
I think I'm value bet. Really, I mean, I
like it. I think it's okay. I think Beckley bets 8x on this.
Actually, I guess you are right.
Two flush draws missed. Beckley called him down with king high early on. So if he has a 4 here, or if he rivered a 3, or even if he has ace high like he has, I think he can call sometimes. Yeah. I think we're basically free rolling on the river. I
actually think you're right. I didn't really see what we've been called by, but I agree that he's never going to be check raising and win it be very, very rarely. So yeah.
I bet the minimum and I stare him down with my arch neck. I just bet the minimum and I really raise my neck like Joe does. Just be like, no, but I agree with playing out. No.
And the bet size wouldn't really threaten Beckley's stack size. So like Beckley either has 27 or 30 million. Like it doesn't change so much. So I think it's good. Joe's played really well the whole final table. He's really not made any mistakes. I don't think. Played really good.
+1.
And yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think having a raising range here when McKeon can manipulate the stack sizes is a very bad idea. I think continuing to have a limping range here would be the best. Last orbit, Beckley limped A6. Now he raises. He's literally just doing different stuff all the time. He has no like set strategy.
So I wonder if Becky's gonna bet here.
Clicks buttons, bro.
I think it's terrible.
So you guys
to
catch
bet
up
with.
with what's going on now. You're gonna be amused. Like here Plino's analysis.
We're on the flop and Beckley stabs 1.9. I think it's okay actually. I think Joe's going to just bet a lot when we check and it's going to be difficult on turns and rivers, especially with the way the stack sizes are for everyone. Joe's obviously going to call.
And the turn
9 million and the turn is a
6 ball.
That's a nice life. I don't think Joe's floating very often on this flop. Like, I don't think he's calling a hand like Queen Jack or King Jack or King 5 of diamonds or anything like that. I think he's going to be quite honest when we bet 10, 7, 6. So I definitely don't think we should start checking. I think we should just bet. There's a missed flush draw. Joe's probably going to call down with a 10 quite often. We can cooler him with a 6. I think I would just keep betting. What do you think, Max?
I think for your range, you want to be checking this turn, but I think the best play here is to bet.
The river. He's always sized small, but when he had Jack 6 yesterday, he bet 10 million at 13, I think, which was a lot bigger than he sized everything else. So obviously, they're going to call this turn bet of 4 million, so it's going to be interesting how he sizes on the 16 million check pot on the river, and if Joe could hero fold based on the sizing.
I agree.
So it also depends on how wide you think Joe's defending. I assume do you think he's defending maybe like King 8 offsuit, King 9 offsuit as well. So he's floating like all his 9x and AX as well on the flop.
Yeah.
I assume he just bets turn.
Maybe you can bet smallish, and maybe Joe sometimes raises. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Joe's not going to raise. I mean, Joe might raise in a tougher, but he's never going to bluff raise in this spot in this tournament.
Yeah, I think Joe just is taking a very low variance route.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying Joe's not capable. Joe's a boss. It's just not versus these mongrels. Let's see what his sizing is. He didn't have a full house, so he bet. Yeah, Joe's going to... It'd be sick if Joe hero folded, but he's probably going to cry and call.
We're not at the river yet. We're just on the turn. He's literally just called the turn in my stream. Alright, he's just called the turn.
Joe.
River, no spoilers, it's a big one. River's a 5. So, I mean, Joe has like which hands is Beckley gonna triple here as a bluff? Like flush draws, I think. He reaches for his chips really quickly, so that's interesting.
I mean, I still don't think that Becky's gonna bluff a lot here with the stacks as they are. I don't think he's gonna fire 3.
Yeah, I mean, he bets river very, very quickly.
I noticed
think
that as well.
If he was going to decide to bluff, he would think it through. Maybe he wouldn't, but I'd expect him to think for like at least 20 seconds or so. He seems to have just bet here like after 5 or 10 seconds.
He doesn't really seem to be trying to like balance his timing too hard as well, or at least doesn't really seem to have too much. I mean, maybe he has some reasoning behind it, but
Dude, if Joe folds, then he's the fucking champ.
When Joe gets to the river, what does Joe's river range look like, Justin? Like he has which hands in his range when we get to the river?
Like, I think he just has, he has flush draws that missed, obviously. He has, he's going to fold a lot of 7s on the turn. He might call 7-8, 7-9 on the turn. I don't know, he bet 3?
Ace, King, Queen, Jack 10. I
already forgot.
He can have 6x. He can have 8, 9 as well.
How did the action go pre?
it was raised pre by 2.5 by Beckley.
Yeah.
Beckley was on the button?
Small blind.
Small blind.
Wow. It's pretty terrible.
He limped last orbit with A6 offsuit in the exact same spot, same stack sizes.
E6 off literally the absolute worst hand to decide 2.5x.
Is there any way that McKeon can bluff shove here?
He could, but
I don't think Beckley has 6-7 in his range, 6-5, 10-6. He's going to limp all of these hands. He can have 7-10s, but we block 10.
We're not at the final table of the 326 max. Well, like you're 2 above your analysis sometimes. Like he's never going to bluff shove in this spot versus these guys. Like, these guys have been playing poker for a year.
Maybe it would be decent though. I think Beckley,
because he has no problem folding the top of his range. Like he folded ace queen in a spot before. Like he's just a field player. Like, but
well, I mean, if Beckley can fold jacks pre versus a 4-bet versus the chippy, there's no reason why he can't fold like ace 10 here to a river jam or like jacks.
Then you have to have a deal with him just looking at you and knowing that you're bluffing.
We have a pretty good hand to bluff jam the river with you of 10-8 as well.
I mean, I would rather jam a hand like 8-7. where you don't block any of his like ace-10 type hands as well.
Well, he may be more. Well, he may be more inclined. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a very good point.
Basically, literally, all poker today is just someone being like, "Hey, I have this hand," and go, "Oh, you have blockers." That seems how poker's going.
I think he's going to limp sevens a lot pre-flop, but raise tens. That's what I was initially thinking.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
I think jamming would be. Is he jammed? No. Calls. That's a shame.
Yeah, Joe calls, and it's gonna be a really nice spot for Beckley there. Big swing, and really now putting some distance here between him and Neil.
I mean, I know, Justin. I know you were trying to say like this is like dangerous to do and stuff, but when you have 140 million, don't you think like they're like ammunition chips, like putting people into tough spots? Like if you double a guy up, I mean, like you still got like 3 times, you still got like heaps and heaps of chips. You know, you're still a massive favorite to win. I don't know. I think shoving there would be pretty good with the way that Beckley. I mean, I'm saying this when Beckley has a hand that he's always going to call with. You know, like Beckley's definitely going to bet calls. It's 6 that. But like, it's not like Beckley had jacks and I'm saying, oh yeah, he could fold.
I think that honestly, like let me just say, I think if he shoved, like he folds his entire range that bets that sizing on the river. So like you're right, but like he's just never going to risk it.
But why not?
I think he fold A6.
Why don't you think he's going to risk it though?
It's just not. He just wants to keep him in the stacks together. He's got 150 million. He's going to make sure that they have to get lucky. So whatever, like it's just. It's how he's played all so far. He hasn't taken any marginal spots.
I don't know. I think that's like a very. I think he would have probably got called. So it's not like a spot where like I'm trying to be results oriented. I think it's a spot where in game here he probably would have got called. But I think it would be a good spot to bluff with.
I promise you.
McKee and Limpin ace-5 here. Interesting.
Yeah.
You check here, right, Justin, with ace-5 on the flop. Against Blumenfield, because Blumenfield's going to jam pre-flop if he has ace-x. You give him a chance to hit a draw on the turn or to just start the flop randomly or barrel off. What? Oh, okay. Have fun then. Okay. Ace-4-8 jack.
I would always be betting here as Joe.
You'd bet as Joe?
Yeah.
I would check a lot, especially with a spade. I think Blumenfield's not going to call that often. Three streets, I think we can check bet, and he's probably going to just like make like a stubborn call with an 8 more often, and he's going to, and maybe he just stabs himself with an 8 for protection sometimes as well. When we get to the river, I'd definitely bet. We have the nuts basically.
Yeah, I mean,
if I was against either of you two, I would shove, but against Blumenfield, I would bet 2.
You would shove?
Against you or Justin, probably shove, yeah.
You would shove 7 times pot or 6 times pot, whatever? 4, 5
Against you guys, yeah, I think I have the nuts. I mean, you would shove 3 with any ace-x. I think you.
Yeah, I still have like 8-3 offsuit and 4-3 offsuit and 5 deuce offsuit.
You like I call at the bottom of my range, hit the showers, pal.
I would on this against these guys. I would do. I'm saying it's just a fun thing to think about anyway.
I would never call here with worse than ace-5. That's a shove.
Fuck combinations, fuck CTO, and make a live.
Of course, yeah. That seems a pretty. So yeah, I guess Monk is right there. That bet actually gets a lot more value. I would have thought personally that you get more value from turn stuff that can call the turn and fold river.
I mean, obviously it doesn't matter so much, but Blumenfield's like stone bottom of his range when he gets to the river. Like he has loads of better hands that could potentially call. So seems and maybe Bloomfield's just like mentally gone a little bit, like he thought he was going to get heads up, and he knows that the whole world said that Bloomfield crushed for the first 2 days, and now he's like scared about the whole and stuff. I'm not sure if you watched the interview yesterday, but Bloomfield told ESPN that he'd been reading all the YouTube comments that were calling him a fish and stuff like this in the videos from like day 5 and day 4. It's like he obviously takes a lot of attention about people like online like calling him a fish and a donk. Like that's a big thing to him. Like it matters to him. So
I mean, I think as much as we give him shit, I mean, I was really impressed, at least on the first day, about like how much Neo kind of like went for it. You know, like a lot of amateurs were kind of just.
I mean, it's one thing to go for it, but I mean, it's just like it was just a bit, it was just too much. Like it was forced, you know. Like Queen 8 suited, it was just call, you know. Like Ace 4 suited versus a min race on the button, just call. I mean, like if he had something like King 5 offsuit, I'd be like, what a fucking gangster, you know. But he had these hands which were just like, just call, just like see a flop,
Yeah,
you know.
but you don't understand. He got chips. Like if he called, he probably wouldn't have known what to do. Like he did something. Like I give him credit. Like everyone else like didn't try at all. Like I'm with Max here. Like it's fun to hate on people, but like yeah, like they did something. He did something, and he managed to get chips, and they all exploitively played bad versus him. So who cares if it's hands that you'd call? Like obviously we'd call Queen 8 suited, Ace 4 suited, and whatnot. But
Yeah, I
impressed
just
with
mean, I wouldn't. If it was on like if it was on like last year's final table and everyone played exactly the same, and Neil Blumenfield went in instead of someone else, everyone would have said, "Oh my God, this guy was a disaster with the way he played." You know, the only reason why I think everyone's saying he played good is just because all of the other guys played so terribly as well. You know, like Beckley, Canuli, Steinberg, they were all just disasters. You know, like for the whole final table. So Blumenfield stood out because he was at least trying something. You know, but I think a lot of what he was trying was just
that he
too
played
false.
week before. It's that he had the time to get coaching and he played different. Like he had those moves on his arsenal before, so he. What would you be doing? Would you be raise folding ace jack?
Oh, look, Max Steinberg not wearing a suit.
I mean, he should be ashamed of himself, I think.
What? Because of how he played?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't understand how a heads-up player like is raise folding that much high. Like I agree with you. Like I don't understand it.
I think this is the year that I've seen the final table the most kind of
He
ICM aware, or like I guess I'd say more ICM scared than ICM aware. Like I think people this year adjusted way more than normal. It was actually really shocking to me because the payouts were so flat.
He is Sean the dealer. Famous.
What a legend.
I wonder if Beckley will try to fight now, or if he'll just like really tighten up in the big blind.
I mean, I really think he should be playing pretty tight here.
He should
second here a lot.
Sure. He should be.
Like Neil was shown, he's not really ready to like.
Beckley looks at his cards as soon as he gets them. Did you notice that? Like he already knows. Like he doesn't look at it now. Like as soon as he gets his cards, he looks at them. It's kind of
still tanks with the 7 deuce off.
Exactly. Yeah. Like he looks at his cards before anyone else does, and then he stares them down so they can't get a read on him. I'm not sure if it's because he's uncomfortable or.
What do you guys think about that? When you look at your cards?
I try to like think of what I'm going to do before I look at my cards, because sometimes like I'm emotional. Like if I see Jack 9 suited, sometimes I just can't help myself. But if I think in my mind like, oh yeah, I should play this range, and I look at my cards and I have
folded an ace.
Wow.
I guess it really shows that he's really aware of the situation right now and is really kind of.
What happened? I missed it.
So we have a min raise from Joe at the bottom with 7-6 offsuit, and then Beckley folded ace 2 offsuit in the big blind.
So you say that he's aware of that, but I promise you, like 3 hands later, he's gonna 3-bet ace 4 off or flat like ace 3 off.
Sure, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt here.
Like we want to hypothesize, give him the benefit of the doubt, but like everything he's shown so far is that he just is randomly grasping at buttons. So. No, I mean I hope it. I mean I don't mind the full ace 2 off.
No, I agree. I just think I mean, to me it shows he's taking a very different approach right now. But
no, it's shit.
And then Joe gets a walk.
I'd put ace 2 off there too. I would.
I mean, as well, I just think that's quite surprising. I guess it makes sense, but Joe really hasn't been fighting back against like 3-bets. He hasn't been flatting at all. Like,
yeah, no, but like you could randomly 3-bet, but I don't know. He could randomly decide to 4-bet too. He has 4-bet folded a couple times in this round.
Yeah, these stack sizes I wouldn't. I don't think having. I mean, what are you 3-betting to value? Like, I wouldn't 3-bet ace king. Well, probably wouldn't 3-bet ace king there. I'd probably just flat that as well. So. If you 3-bet ace 2 soft suit, I just don't think you have enough.
No, I agree.
You can 3-bet ace king though because Joe's not going to jam, so it doesn't matter as long as you get the last bet in. It's not really ICM. You have to worry about it, you know.
But
like
I was
going to clam like deuces or ace x suited. Like he's just going to 4-bet.
One of the reasons why I flat ace king is so I can flat ace deuce as well, though. So I have a lot of very good hands as well.
Yeah.
So is the clock still 2 hours or is it 60 minutes?
I believe it's 2 hours.
That's good for.
I really wish they didn't have as many commercial breaks as they do, but American TV.
So how's your 12 big blind game, Justin?
Sure.
Pure?
Involve a lot of limping with these guys. Well, actually, no, not these stacks, but I mean, we're talking about 12 big blind games.
Do you still use Jennifer?
Jennifer.
I use Jennifer. Don't hate on Jennifer. It's good to check.
Joe is the button here because they're taking a small break. Actually, Justin, when you were going deep in the main, do you have any offers for like patch deals and stuff like that, or no? Would you have signed for a site if you had made
Sure,
it?
they offer me enough money. I'm for sale.
How much would I have to pay you to wear a t-shirt with my face on it right now?
Probably not a lot of money.
I mean, you are speaking to the guy who wanted to wear the onesie for the whole World Series.
Yeah, I was gonna do that for a couple thousand.
Are you into watches, Max, or not?
Can't say I am.
I don't wear a watch. If you won $8 million, what would you splurge on? Like if you were tempted to go and splurge, what would you go and buy?
I would go to like really nice restaurants. I guess more so than I already do. Maybe some kind of like world Michelin star tour or something like that would be pretty fun.
But if you wanted to have something to be like, okay, I won the main event and this is what I bought, what would you kind of would you use?
I have a house. I have a wife. Don't need anything more.
What about a car? Like a different car?
Still learn to drive, so not really. Yeah, there's also some cars recently in my neighborhood that got robbed, so not really want to be like having a flashy car outside.
All right. So, not sure what I would buy.
I had a house and a car before Black Friday. Now I have nothing. I don't even have clothes at the moment.
Yeah, I would buy. I'm not sure actually. It's hard. Like I mean, some property, like some cars, I guess. I don't know. Would you change what you played poker wise, Max, or would you just do the same?
I mean, I'm already playing pretty fucking big right now. 100Ks don't really get much bigger.
Would you take bigger pieces of yourself and stuff, or?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, I'd probably buy a lot more and swap more. I guess I wouldn't sell. I'd just try and swap out everything, but yeah.
What about poker in general? Like in 10 years, do you think you'll still be playing the main event at all?
Yeah, I think so. Why not? It's the main event, you know? Go on holiday to Vegas, see my friends.
But you won't be playing like a full schedule or anything like this?
Oh, no, I doubt that very much.
I think there's a chance I will. I don't know. I think there's at least 10% chance that I'm playing a full schedule in 10 years, I'd say. Well, I don't know. If the schedule's still there to be played, I think there's like 5 to 10% chance maybe. I don't know. I mean, I would be like 37 then, so maybe not. Maybe it's a little bit unrealistic. But the main event, sure. I mean, I think it'd be nice to play the main event. It's nice to like, if you leave poker, to like meet up with other people who you haven't seen for like years and stuff, or to meet up once a year with people.
Oh, but sure, I'm pretty sure even if I like stopped being a poker pro, I would still play like a few EPTs a year or whatever. Play like a 10K high roller or something like that. Like, why not? I feel like I would still be decent in the fields. So yeah.
Good. Sounds good.
Yeah. Coming back from a little break. So how do you feel about like the whole cards being shown on 30-minute delays? Like if you were playing, would you rather have no? I guess I assume you would rather have no whole cards being shown at all, because it would be.
I think I'd rather see the whole cards. I think I would adjust better than the other guys would adjust. I think just seeing how they play, especially on this final table, like I'd really like to see what they would do, and I would just try to like hyper exploit. I think would be the best way to do it.
I just think it's so much harder to like to hyper exploit when people can see what you're doing and like 30 minutes later.
I think on this final table they're not doing anything about it. They're like, I think it would be a good one to do it on. Like last year's when Jakobsen and Van Hoof and Felix and guys were there, I would rather no cards for sure and then for sure. For sure.
So we have a fold on the button by Neil and Josh in the small blind with.
Really, I'm behind you now. That's interesting.
Oh really? He is also folded, so Joe gets another walk. Beckley folded Queen 6 offsuit in the small blind, which I think is a fine fold.
Yeah. I think if you limp with these stack sizes, then Joe's going to go after you quite often, and 3x and 3.5x and stuff like this. Put you into some difficult spots. So yeah, I agree.
So actually, we had a comment here in the chat here from Jonathan Little. He said good players would certainly rather have whole cards. You use the info much better than amateurs. I actually think as false. I think the gap between what amateurs don't know is pretty huge. I think by giving them so much information, you really can, at least personally, I feel this. I'm sure it's not, most people won't agree with me, but I feel like you really kind of like narrow that gap a lot faster with amateurs being able to see what you're doing. And I think if you keep them guessing and don't give them the information, they're going to really kind of make some massive mistakes against you.
Yeah, I agree.
And also, I really kind of hate the whole dynamic of having to check with everyone about the whole cards. You have no idea if someone else is checking or not. So I think it adds like a very kind of like uncertain layer to the game, which I don't like.
I prefer, honestly, that, and I do it at super high rollers a lot, is that they just agree to show every hand at showdown.
Yeah, so I did that and a fire table once, and I had obviously it wasn't all pros, but there was some fish in here, and I thought it massively benefited the fish actually versus the pros.
Yeah.
They got that instant gratification and got to see a lot of things, which you see.
It's so much easier to fold knowing you can see the cards.
Yeah. To river bets, yeah.
Especially when you're like a sick fuck that doesn't care at all about money, and it's like the Dan Bilzerian quote's so true. It's like you could lose sleep. You don't lose sleep at night if you're like $5,000 supporter, but like if this fucking guy, like if Polino Plaid's bluffed me at the front of the table, like
I should assume that the pen is always bluffing me, but usually he's betting 8 times the pot, so I can just call 1 in 7 times and be doing all right.
Joe's just min raised the button to 2 million. And
it's all this. Like, don't you hate when like people like so many? It's like this classic line of Wizard Reg. It's like the number 1 line is oh, you don't know about the dynamics. But the number 2 line is like they pretend that they're balanced and they could call with, and they show up with hands that they never do in certain spots. It's like, oh, I'm protected there. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah. I'm sure Becky's thinking like something along those lines at times.
I could 3-bet fold jacks because I'm protected. I'm not getting.
Hold on.
Phil's like, oh, I only 3-bet fold my ace-7 suited combos based on live reads. I'm 3-bet inducing ace-8 every time and balanced and whatever. Matt Stout has my back coaching. So.
Yeah, he's flattened clubs, spades, and diamonds and 3-betting hearts. That's his day 3 strategy. Day 2 was diamonds and day 1 was clubs.
Don't give away all the secrets.
Open shove for 10 big blinds here from me on the button.
I'm behind you. It's still tilting for me.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Queen Jack suited and a fold.
Beckley's on the button, right? You wouldn't open the button, right?
We're not on that.
Off. It's so bad.
We're not there yet.
Well, I wouldn't open the button with ace-7 off if I had it in Beckley's spot.
Max is going to do it now. I can't do it.
I would blame her for yes.
What would your raising range be with 40 big blinds here, Justin?
On the button with McKeon in the small blind and the stacks what they are now?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Is it something to note that McKeon may not 3-bet as wide because he's going to be priced in to call Blumenfield's jams, or do you think that's not going to be too much of a consideration?
That's like being worried about something. Wow, holy shit. All right, I'm not going to spoil. It's going down.
So right now, you talk us through it, Max.
Sorry, we have a raise from Beckley to 2 million with a 7 offsuit.
That's around.
And looks like Joe is about to 3-bet.
Oh my goodness gracious. This is ridiculous.
I think Beckley knows you're written it.
So I think Joe is going to have 3-bet, and then Beckley's going to do his snap shove again. He's kind of decided that no one's going to fucking push him around anymore. And
So Joe is free betting here.
yeah.
What's happening on your stream here now, Max?
So Joe has just got queens, and Beckley has shoved, I guess. Wow, he's snap shoved as well. Sorry, no wait, Neil shoved. Sorry, Neil shoved all in.
Neil's all in.
Yeah, Neil shoved all in with 2 cards. We don't see them. 2 and 2. So he shoved with no fold here, essentially.
With deuces?
With 2s,
Yes.
for 12 big blinds.
Yes.
So this is obviously a pretty big blow up here.
Wow.
We actually saw a hand here pretty similar to that. In the coverage by, I think,
Chad
Chad Power, was it? With 3s?
Betting range is 90% of
Oh, sorry,
hands.
Chad Power's housemate?
I think it was Fedor's housemate, Killian Kremer.
No, it wasn't that one. It was one of the American guys. But all right, we're gonna see a flop. I'm gonna see 5 cards, and if things go to plan, we'll be heads up.
I think he hit it.
And hoping for no spoilers from South on the run out.
I'm gonna say he hits.
I'm gonna say he doesn't hit based on science.
No backdoor call. Justin's raging on Skype to everybody he knows.
If only you were there, Justin.
That's amazing.
So
Did that earlier, Chad Power's roommate?
yeah.
Marchese didn't seem to like it, the jam. Marchese's like, oh god, what did he
It
do?
looks like, unless there's a 2 on the river, we're going to lose Neil Blumenfield in 3rd place. And we'll be heads up for the bracelet, and Joe's in a pretty fine position. But it'd be an issue now as well to see.
Marchese looked angry there, did you see?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just disappointed as well. When you assume he's on the coaching, and he's put in a lot of hard work, and then see it kind of essentially like go up in flames.
Put in hard work and see your opponent make it's hard to make a big mistake knowing it that is a lot of like playing on clouds and whatnot. Like when you're talking about mistakes, you mean slight mistakes, like a couple big blinds. Like most of the time you play tournament, you're never going to find a mistake that's a huge 3-4 big blind error. But wow, we have cold 4-bet shoves with baby pairs. There's no folds equity. It's just
anyway,
why
so
not?
we lose Neil Bloomfield in 3rd place. Even though I think he made some mistakes as an amateur, I think he brought a lot of fun to the game, and I think we're going to be. I think he really came out with a lot of heart, and fair play to him. To come as an amateur and get 3rd place in the main is no small achievement.
Yeah.
I think he seems like a really nice guy, really happy and genuine, and Hold on, sorry, just the typing, I can't hear you. Alright, sorry, Patrick.
I think I was a bit harsh on Blumenfield. I would probably apologize for that. I'm not trying to say I think he made a bunch of mistakes, but I think he did, like you said, brought a lot of fun to the game, and at least he went for it. He didn't sit back. He went for it, so that's definitely admirable. And yeah, nice guy. Definitely a nice guy. I think that's unquestionable.
I think as well, when we're doing this, we have a look as well that people are human, people make mistakes, and I mean we've been playing poker for many years, all of us, and
I make huge mistakes.
And yeah, I still make mistakes as well, and you're playing on the kind of the bigger stage with a lot of pressure, so
I agree completely.
But yeah, we're now heads up, and it's just really interesting now to see how Beckley plays, because we'll find out now if he was really super ICM aware or he just was making a lot of mistakes. And actually, it's actually a pretty interesting heads up, and I'll see how Joe plays as well. Is he going to kind of approach it with a very small ball style, or is he going to go? I mean, heads up. I think he should be going after him pretty hard here.
What do you think, Justin? What do you both guys are going to do? You know Joe best. What's he going to do?
It's a very different game right now because there's no more ICM. So I think Josh Beckley sort of just feels like a complete free roll, so he's going to be playing a lot looser. And Joe's just going to play solid poker. And it's not like he's going to be playing heads up. It's not,
So previously we've seen Joe always free bet and very polarized, so he's always free betting like very bad hands. Now that they're a little bit deeper and it's heads up and he can't put pressure on, do you think he's going to start free betting more hands?
Aren't they like 40 big blinds?
Yeah, so you can start free betting hands for value, maybe like King Queen suited or something like this. Or do you think he's still going to be quite polar with his free bets? How do you think he's going
I
to
think
change?
he's still going to be very polarized because he's not. I still don't expect him to start flatting.
So you think Beckley's still going to be raised folding a lot?
Yeah.
Do you think Joe will limp at all, or do you think he'll just keep raising? I think raising's good.
I think I don't see why he's not limping unless he starts to 3-bet a ton. I wouldn't do anything other than raise. It seems to be he's not. I don't think he's going to be defending wide enough.
Do you think that Joe's going to want to start flatting free bets against Beckley? Because Beckley does like the free bet. Like we all know he free bet 10 flops to pocket eights. So Joe's going to see flops in free bet pots, all right? We're going to see some pots.
Well, depends. We'll see. We'll see what the cards are. We'll see.
That's good.
So time to bring up the money.
That is a lot of money. Heaps and heaps.
Actually, I'm gonna put the sound to this. We get to hear the interview with Neil.
First, about the experience of coming all this way.
Well, it was unreal. I mean, obviously, I never expected ever in my life to be here. So, making the final table was great. Making it to day 10 was awesome. So I feel very, very fortunate. Great experience.
You've had such an amazing crowd around you as well. The Fear the Fedora crowd, everyone's dressed up. What is it like to be in the center of that much love?
Okay, so I'm going to go through my thank yous now, and I'm going to choke up. So be forewarned. Okay, so I want to thank WSOP and ESPN and Caesars Entertainment for putting on a great event. Survived a rainstorm in the Amazon room day 2, so it was okay. Especially want to thank Simone, who was just great in terms of being responsive, helpful, all that. And I do want to thank my twin, Norman, for showing up and commentating.
Are you sleeping, Justin?
Obviously, I want to thank my sponsors,
Watching Neil
888,
Blumenfield on TV.
and I love working with them because we've got to get online poker going in the U.S. again. Pascaline Paris, obviously, I love working with her. If you're in San Francisco, make sure you stop by the shop on Sacramento Street. And also Burns Cowboy Shop, who created this great fedora and this great belt.
They have outfitted you so well. But give me one more thought. What's a lasting memory you're going to take away from this experience?
Lasting memory, hopefully it's not the deuces.
Don't let it be the deuces.
So
Wait, are they coming back tomorrow for Heads Up?
So my coaching team,
They are.
which was Amir Leavat, Matt Stout, Ryan Welch, Tom Marchese, Benvo Kroll, Brent, Brendan,
I don't think so.
Justin, Phil, Lisa,
So many.
I guess.
Lamore.
I mean, you being serious? You thought so?
I think there's a break.
I think they should put the money on the
Alright,
table.
guys. So shout out to Neil there for giving a shout out to online poker because it's actually really cool to see an amateur come out and say, "Hey, like America needs this." That is really awesome. And I think it's definitely good for the game and good for getting that legalized.
Yeah, very good guy. So what's the payouts now? Say it again, sorry.
So we have so Neil just locked up 3.398 million, and second place gets 4.47 million, and first place gets 7.68. So we're playing for about $3.2 million here, which is no small chance.
How much goes to tax in America? 30%, or how much do they pay?
Depends.
Like if they win 7 million, how much do you pay?
Half.
Really? 50%? Jesus.
I never win money, so don't take that.
So Justin, if you were Joe here and you were offered a chip chop, would you take it?
I mean, No. I would at least make him give me some extra, or make him double up or something. I would play it out for now. Try to win it all.
I guess as well, like when you locked up $4.4 million, that extra like few 100K is not gonna be that much difference.
Yeah.
So that's a shitload of money. I
You haven't
have to say.
seen anything bad happen for Joe.
You
Like,
just 9-7 suited?
we're not there yet. We're
So,
still.
9-7
Yeah.
suited just got folded somehow. I guess to a 3-bet or something.
I don't.
so Joe
Well,
opens Ace King
How do you get till 9-7 suited and not see a flop?
on the button, and Beckley has called. So no, we're just seeing a flop here. Yeah, Beckley called with 9-7 suited. We're seeing a flop here. And yeah, I guess Beckley's just in the check fold here. So yeah, I guess they just see a flop.
Yeah.
Um,
You're never checking here with Ace King, right? Just always.
no, I would just always bet. I don't think you need
What
to.
kind of good hands would you think about checking? What would be the best hand you would check on this flop?
I think ace 8 maybe.
What about you, Justin? Ace King 10, you're on the button, you raise, big blind peels. What's the best hand you would check on the flop?
The best hand I would bet probably all my aces. And best hand I would check would be I would bet king. I would check some of my kings.
Yeah, I mean, I probably against Josh, I'd probably be betting pretty wide here because he just hasn't really been check raising very much as well, and there's also not really a ball I think I can get check raised very much on at all either.
Especially the first hand of the tournament,
Yeah.
First hand of heads up.
So Beckley open folds 10-6 offsuit on the button, which I think is not very good.
10-6 offsuit?
I mean, yeah, I think he should probably be doing something else with that hand.
Yeah.
I wonder how we're so far apart.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
What would you do if 10-6 offsuit, Justin, you'd be raising? Or like V-pipping?
I would limp or raise.
Yeah, I think this sounds good.
Talking about how to play it heads up, it's like out there how to play proper heads up. Obviously, you can't if you're folding 10-6 off. That's like what? It's like you're only playing like 65%. Something people play 80-90%. I'll take it.
So Joe's on the button. He has.
He's raised. He's going for a min raise as well, which is I think that's kind of what I assumed to a 10-8 offsuit. And Beckley's in the big blind with 2 cards. We're guessing here Beckley's on the 3-bet, considering how fast he peeled there with 9-7 suited.
What does he have? I don't see.
Oh, I guess he's folding then. He folded Queen Deuce offsuit, which I think is. I mean, it's also for him as well. There's antis in play here as well, so it's not just a straight min raise. He's actually getting better than.
I think, yeah.
Anyways, I would defend here. Can I
think about
refresh
having
my
it near a
ESPN
free-bet?
stream?
Which
Yes, I
hand
will,
do you-
guys. Hold on, I'm gonna try and refresh the stream and see if I can get it a bit less lag. Okay, we're back here.
Which kind of hand?
Have we lost Patrick?
Like 3-bet bluff with here, free flop.
I think Queen Deuce is a reasonable candidate. I mean, Joe hasn't shown a huge propensity to be flatting 3-bets yet.
Justin, would you rather have 10 deuce suited or Queen Deuce offsuit in your 3-bet bluff and range there?
You suited.
10 deuce suited, right? What are you, Max? 6-5 offsuit or Queen Deuce offsuit?
In my 3-bet range,
Yeah.
6-5 all day.
So you would always 3-bet 6-5?
No, I would often call and 3-bet sometimes.
Okay.
3-bet rarely, but yeah.
Which time you would 3-bet get it in with?
As how do they have 33 blinds?
Yeah. Ace 10 or ace jack?
I mean, for sure, those hands. I'm trying to think if I had 3-bet King Jack. I probably wouldn't against Joe right now.
I think it's good to flat King Jack 3.
I would definitely 3-bet go with King Queen if I could somehow get the money in.
Beckley
Wow.
raises 3 and C bets Queen 9 on King 6 4 backdoor straight flush. Pretty good card for him to bet again.
Yeah, I would bet again here. You don't block any of his straight draws that he could have.
I think you can bet small. Like the hands you're trying to fold out, you don't need to bet very big. Like a lot of people bet really big here, but I think betting small on this turn card is
Yeah, I assume you're gonna fold out 6x here most of the time.
4x, 6x, ace highs as well. I think maybe pocket pairs like deuces through to 7s or 8s. I think a lot of guys bet like 6.5 million because they want to just force the guy out, but he's never folding a king, so I think.
I think this is actually a bit too small, but I bet like around 4 million. I think that's
I kind of like it. It was 3.2 into 9.1.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe slightly larger, but yeah.
So Stealth Monk, oh Justin, is that your dog?
Friend dog, yeah. Hangs around here a lot. Did you guys see the ace queen?
No.
Tell me when you guys see it. It's the ace queen hand.
We're just seeing Ace Queen replay hand now. And I actually thought that this was a good fold by Beckley here. I didn't think it was a spot where Joe would be going crazy. That was in other than tournament.
Were many people talking at the table when you were deep, Justin, or was everyone very quiet and kind of?
No one was engaging me. I was just talking to that one.
I mean, you managed to find a way to keep Daniel quiet. That was impressive.
Your microphone's gone, Justin.
It's gone very quiet. Yeah. So we have a raise here from Joe with 7-5 offsuit on the button. And again, based on his timing here, I expect him to 3-bet or fold, given the way he's
Shuffling his chips now. He hasn't done this before, has he? He took his chips, then shuffled them. It's weird. It's a little thing.
Yeah.
Usually he's very quick to put his chips in.
I would say that I would tend to think that he has it here if he does that. Oh, I was wrong. Very wrong.
Oh, wow. And the sizing is.
Yeah, I don't like this. I would just call every time.
Yeah, this seems very unnecessary with this hand. This size, if you're going to free bet these kind of hands, I'd go a lot bigger. So one, you don't let me, like if you make it 6 million or like 6.5 million, McKeon doesn't have room to fold that. He does, but not as much. It's very expensive. Also, like it's more difficult for him to peel. I think with King 4, you really want your guy to just fold. So if you have that range, which has a lot of these terrible hands in it, I would just make it a lot larger than 4.8 million here. Probably make it closer towards 6 million than 5 million.
Do you think there's any chance that Joe calls here? Or I guess it looks like he's in a 4-bet.
He's in a 4-bet, really? Okay.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
I mean, this is...
I think Beckley hasn't really won it. Maybe Beckley's just like trying to win a pot, so maybe that's why he 4-bets.
Actually, do you know what, I don't know why I'm saying this, but I wouldn't be shocked here if Beckley decides to fucking 5-bet jam.
No, he can't.
He can't, he shouldn't, but... He just seems to I think he actually seems to kind of lost his patience here. He seems to kind of based on.
He's just doing the standard game he always has. He doesn't defend. He just 3-bets.
Yeah. This is
I mean, I would be pretty sure he's just posing he's in the fold, but
nice sense of weakness from Joe as well.
If you offer me 10-1 that he would 5-bet shove, I might take that.
I would have offered you. Tell me before, bro. Now, next part we can do some more.
All right, we'll get some side bets here on the stream.
Yeah, that was Joe's dad, I think, singing. First time I've seen that.
So Z Justin says that I was saying that he just lost his patience. I was basing that more on the timing earlier with the 4-bet shove against Neil Blumenfield rather than the heads up. But maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I'm making very broad reads here based on very low information, so not always going to be spot on.
I actually agree with you. I mean, it shows kind of impatience to free bet a hand like King Fawcett there. I think he's in this match and he wants to just win a pot by free bet, and we saw this on day 2. He free bet pocket 8s when he should have called. I think it's just he wants to win a pot. Like when you haven't won a pot for a long time, you just try to do something to win a pot, and you change your strategy from what's optimal. And like King 4 today, I think is better to flat call, especially compared to the sizing. I think he just free bet because it's heads up. He hasn't free bet yet. He wants to win a pot, and I think it does show like I think he does have a lack of patience in general when he's playing. And I think he showed that yesterday by free betting King 9 suited and pocket 8s and all these kind of hands, which were obviously clear flats.
So
I think
huge flop here for Joe, obviously, flopping trips, and against a button raise from Beckley. I assume Beckley's going to see bet, and I would guess Joe just calls here. I don't think he's going to raise.
yeah.
He's gonna 3-barrel. Wait, he picked up. Yeah, he's definitely gonna 3-barrel for sure. Beckley's not scared of Beckley 3-barrel near. But anyways,
We're on the flop.
we're on the flop, it does, Justin.
I'm just saying Beckley's gonna 3-barrel. I'm on the flop too. I just saw the turn. I'm just saying he's gonna 3-barrel.
Well, I mean, potentially.
Joe's just gonna call.
I mean, I wouldn't even hate
You
firing
say
a
that
sec.
he's changing his strategy, but he isn't. His strategy is just 3-bet. He's doing the True Perm School of Poker.
No, we're not saying he's changing his strategy. We're saying that he's shown that he wants to just win pots pre-flop when he's been like, when he hasn't won a pot in a long time, he'll just randomly free bet something that he shouldn't do.
You mentioned the 8s though when you said that, but like 8s, 3-betting 8s is his strategy.
Yeah, but maybe if he'd won a few pots before that, he wouldn't have free bet 8s. He would have just seen a flop, you know, instead of trying to force something pre-flop. That's how I view him anyway. Just
I
personally.
think this is a 3-better.
Yeah, this double barrel. Unless you bet the river, this turn bet's obviously bad. I mean,
I actually don't hate it, by the way. I think. Do you think Joe folds his ace highs here now?
on double flush draw board, I think he's going to call a lot and fold river.
Like I don't think you try and make him fold like 6x or anything like that, but I think he's gonna fold his queen 10 of I guess not clubs.
He's gonna. I think Joe's gonna call twice here pretty often. When Joe calls flop, I think he's called in turn pretty often. You can make him fold out king highs potentially. Maybe Joe flats flop with like king 8 offsuit. So like you could maybe fold off these kind of hands, I guess. But smart
As I told you a while ago, he's going to 3-3.
It's obviously not gonna work out very well for him. And yeah, I think this is both ways. And I don't even hate it. Like, I mean, Joe has a super good hand here, and obviously has a very easy call against a third barrel. But like if Joe had a 6 here, I'm not sure he would call the river.
Yeah, 6 is the tough call. I mean, there's some missed straight draws, missed flush draws too. Random black bluffs like queen 7 like this too. If he bets small, then maybe we'll see.
I mean, and if
Remember,
Joe,
he bet really big on day 2. He bet fucking huge when he had a full house. So let's see if he uses the same size into level Joe. That would be really interesting.
You're giving him too much credit.
No, he bets 7. If he bets 10 million here, Joe can fold a lot of hands. But when he bets this size, and this is just shows the inconsistency. Just it's so face up the way he's doing this stuff. It's very like if he bets 10 million there, Joe even has like a decision with a jack. I mean, obviously he's not folding a jack, but like he's hating life with a jack because of everything he's seen. But when he bets 4 million there with the missed straight draws, missed flush draws, I think he's just shrugging and calling pretty often.
No one puts them to the test. Everyone.
He's had it. He's had the life of Riley. It's just...
I mean, Joe has run very good. I mean, but he's also been playing really well. So now Beckley's down to only 20 blinds. So I imagine we'll see some shoves now over some opens by Beckley.
I think it's going to be over pretty soon. I would imagine. I would set.
I mean, it's still poker, and even though I think Joe's the better player here, I'd say he has at most like a 10% edge here. Heads up.
Eight stacks for even, yeah. So the key and raising here.
Actually, I think Joe should maybe just shove pre actually with his hand.
You think he should shove through his queen jack off?
I think it's viable.
How many big blinds did he have?
20.
There's 20 or 20, 22. I think that it's too much.
Yeah, me too. Out of them.
I mean, I think I agree against Josh. You don't really want to have a shoving range for 20 blinds, but
Again, like Josh, when he's lost a lot of pots, I think he's capable of just shoving it in there pretty wide, wider than he should be. So, so yeah, I think I would go ahead and limp and check off.
I think limping's very well.
I would play queen jack off as he did.
I guess I'm approaching this as more of a heads up hypersengo format.
Yeah, we have 2 hour clocks. So.
Yeah, and an obvious edge as well.
Complete domination from start to finish by Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously came into the front table with a really strong spot where he could.
Anyone a chance to even get above. No one even had it's crazy. No one even got above like 30, 40 million chips.
So, Justin, you know Joe best. If he wins, how's he going to party, do you think, tonight?
I don't know, probably not a lot. I don't think he's a big partier.
You're in Vegas, would you go out and see him and
No. I'm not that close with him.
Okay.
What would you do, Max, if you win? How crazy would you go?
He just unfolded an ace. That's pretty awesome.
Who?
I think I would just want to have all my friends around me, you know? I wouldn't want to get super drunk or anything like that.
You think Lim folded an ace, play no plaids. Was it Daniel Negreanu?
Potentially.
It was.
Okay, here we go, yeah.
As always, the first line. It's never the nuts. Online, that costs me a lot. Whenever anyone limps for the first time, I always end up like getting way too much money in with like 8-4 offsuit.
So I wonder if Joe actually has a hit ace flat folds as well. That's pretty interesting. Joe had tens, well.
Oh, and he didn't jam either. He limp folded to a 3x.
Yep.
That's very, very, very interesting.
It's a very good play. He had 10, he had a live read.
He did. That's sick. Maybe he actually has the read.
I can't believe I didn't tweet that.
I mean, given how fast he folded, I don't think he had a live read.
I mean, how did he fold so fast? How did he fold ace-x with 20 big blinds heads up so fast on his first limp?
He just knows.
How does he know?
When you know, you know.
But how does he know?
So Patrick, you were saying to me yesterday that you thought the live read was pretty interesting, or who would you hire as your live read coach if you made the final table?
My live read coach. I think Anthony Zeno, maybe. I think that's who Beckley's using as well. I think he's like a good live player.
So Joe has a huge hand here. Ace king. It looks like Beckley's gonna flat call with.
Beckley has 7-8 offsuit. Okay.
Yes, pot's gonna end here. Joe's gonna see that.
How would you play 8-5 here, Max? If you had 8-5 on King Jack 5 and button C-bet, what would you do with 8-5 on this board?
Check call.
You would check call, yeah.
I mean, Joe also has a habit of betting flops pretty small, so.
What would you do with a hand like Ace 4 offsuit? You would fold, right?
I would just fold, yeah. I'll peel like Ace 6 of hearts or something like that. I would call one.
Yeah. What about a hand like Queen 10? Would you shove or would you just call?
It's a pretty interesting one. I think I'd usually call.
Interesting. Not sure. That's all.
So Becky just open shoved with 20 big blinds and fours and called by Ace 10. Wow, this could be it.
Should we put the commentary on?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, cool.
I can do mine's quite loud.
So I got a hit.
And the way he's been running, Yeah, I mean, there's almost no version of him not catching an ace or a 10 as good as he's been running. He's at top pair every time he's taken a flop. My money's on McKeon.
What a journey for both of these men, if indeed this is the end of it. Beckley very comfortable over there. It was a short stack in the midway point of our coverage of the final table, and now here heads up, still with a chance to be a world champion. Ace 10 against Beckley's fours. The fours at risk. And a
10 in the window.
Who didn't see that coming?
Looks like no runner.
Joe loves his runners.
He does. This is his favorite thing.
Version of this hand happening in which he was not going to hit a card.
What do you think?
Wow.
Do you think Joe's gonna cry when he wins?
What a main event.
No, he's not
Final
crying.
table for Joe McKeon.
I wonder if he'll smile.
2 cards away
That's the
from winning
question.
the biggest poker tournament of the year. Wow. What a
Sweat.
great feeling. 91% to win over $7 million. That has got to feel good.
McKeon has lorded over this championship table, now lording over that dealer. Just make it a
10%
clean
feels
run out
big.
here, dealer.
That's pretty big.
Turn card now. Another 5.
Nice.
So still the outs are the same.
You want to take 20 to 1,
Changes one
Max?
life. If Joe McKeon doesn't hit a 10 on the river on day 6,
I'll offer you a very good price.
I'll give you 25
There was
for
a
one.
9% chance that card would come. It came.
Good
And now
find,
we
Justin.
go from average Joe to
Been
Joe McKeon world
watching
champion
the
on this
Twitch
next
chat,
card.
unfortunately.
Beckley needs a 4 and a 4 only, or Joe McKeon is the main event champion.
It has all come down to this. Joe McKeon, is that bracelet, is that money yours? The river card.
4.
It's a jack.
Wow.
Joe
Joe,
McKeon goes
congrats
wire to wire
on
to win the
putting on essentially what was
main
a
event.
clinic. I think you played it really well. And sure you're not going to see this. I don't know why I'm talking to you like you would, but hey man, good job.
Yeah, been very impressed with Joe. I think he's played like a champ and deserves to win.
So complete was
Any
this
parting
victory.
words, Justin? Words of wisdom
It
for
was
the,
this
for the fanboys?
McKeon invented the table, built the table, and then ran the table, and wins nearly $7.7 million.
Reminiscent of Jamie Gold running the table.
I would have blown all the money on something stupid anyway. So.
Was there ever a talk of you and Joe making a swap?
Oh yeah. Not only that, yeah. One of the people in the crowd there, George, offered me a piece. I declined it because I had so little of myself, obviously. So it cost myself another whatever.
Alright, you had a good score. Fine.
I could have had up to 5%, so that's what, 10%. I could have doubled my score.
Alright, be happy. So everything's okay. So it's been nice speaking to you, Justin, and you, Max. Thanks a lot. for
Yeah,
hosting
thank you guys for joining us, and thank you everyone for watching. It's been really cool and really fun. So,
Cheers.
Nice, Justin. You've been.
It was a blast.
See you guys.
alright guys, thanks a lot. Peace. So, just me left now, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been a bunch of fun. Really cool, actually. I think it was something we'll try and do again. I definitely think me and Patrick are in. Maybe for like an EPT or something like that. But let us know what you guys thought. Either on Twitter or on here. It was a bunch of fun. Yeah. So, okay, guys. Peace.